Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I didn't realize my mic was unmuted when I coughed. Apologies. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone is doing well. As we are here for the WardiTV October Group C. I'm going to be starting the day off with TVT Oliveira versus Cure. For our casters to accept the invite in, and we're going to be starting here pretty much straight away. As we are all on time today, perfect. Alright, let's get ready to kick off into this TVT. Let's get ready to rumble. Just figuring out everybody that's here and wanting to cast. How you guys doing? Hello, everybody. Morning, afternoon. Hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to the stream. I'm just traversing my friends list and seeing if there's anyone else that's likely to be joining to cast. Alright, I think we are officially good. Players are ready. Let's cast some StarCraft 2. WardiTV October. 6 best of 3s coming your way, and it's a stacked group. Oliveira versus Cure starts us off, but we also have in this group Hero and Shin. Really excited for the groups today and tomorrow. I think the next couple of days of groups are just fantastic. Tomorrow's group, Solar, Clem, Trap, and Gumiho also promises to honestly just be a lot of fun as well. So, should be a good time all around as we get ready to kick off into our very first best of 3. Let's do it. Let's get into some games. Let's cast some StarCraft 2. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, our red Terran player from Team Liquid. We do have Cure taking on the blue Terran in the top right-hand side. Repping Weibo Gaming, it is Oliveira. And just as we love to see in a little bit of TVT, already an SCV starts to come across the map. And a little bit of aggression from Cure. SCV2 starts out as well, so there's going to be a 2 racks Proxy Reaper to begin the series and to begin the day in the WardiTV October event. And mirror matchup getting off to a very aggressive start here. Gas first from Oliveira. Will speed up such things as the factory and so on. Obviously, we'll see if he takes the second gas. You would hope he does, because that will put him in the right position to defend this just naturally. Let's see what he decides to do over the next couple moments. Have ourselves the second racks coming up as we expected. And there is the second gas from Oliveira. So this does put us in a fun position where Oliveira definitely should have the tools to defend, even without a scout. Very likely his first Reaper jumps down here as well, just to check, and we'll see those barracks, so we'll get a little bit of a heads up, even if he doesn't SCV scout across the map. So, I mean, these barracks are not, you know, they're not hiding anything. They are right there. Not like hidden off over here maybe, or like a bit further back. No, they are here. This is about speed of reinforcements from Cure. Generally, when your opponent doesn't scout it, you save the first Reaper and you wait for 2 Reapers, because then it gives you really kind of deadly potential early on. Let's see if Cure does that. Obviously, if Oliveira scouts down with this Reaper, that's when Cure will start to move forward with just 1 Reaper, but let's see what he decides to do as his first Reaper will pop out in a moment or two. Yeah, just going to save it for Reaper number 2. Oliveira's not set up to move this Reaper into position to go scout, though. So maybe he does not get that information that I said he might. Oh, there we go. Turns it, hops down, sees it, turns around, takes 1 shot, but you'll get a shot in return in that moment as well. Now the second Reaper pops up, going to come around the top. SCV is going to pull in. Good SCV pull. Oh, I do not love that we commit into this, actually, as Cure, as Oliveira gets a Reaper. Actually got his away for the moment. I love that Reaper jumping back to the high ground here. But Oliveira knows where that Reaper is, and he's going to be able to keep his safe. Beautifully done by Oliveira. Absolutely spot on to start things out. A couple of Reaper grenades still coming through. The SCVs are going to run forwards here, as we do now have 2 Reapers versus 2 currently. Yeah, great micro from Oliveira to start off with. And with the Hellion out, this is nigh undefended. There's not much you can really do at this point. Wow. This was genuinely a very good defense from Oliveira. Just absolutely, you know, pitch perfect. Did what he needed to do at the right moment. Keeps that, you know, those Reapers of his own alive. His opponent's Reaper going down. We're going to have another Hellion here in a second. Don't fight this until the second Hellion's here. The Reapers are just going to go diving for some SCVs. Just going to try and make the most of this situation, but they're not getting out of here alive, I don't think. One Reaper dead. 2 Hellions are going to make this easy work. Every Reaper dies. So 4 Reapers for 2 plus an SCV. In fact, it's been 5 Reapers for 2 because obviously the early one went down as well. And Cure is going to be in a world of trouble. This proxy has absolutely not found what he was looking for in the early stages. And yeah, that's going to be a rough reality for him to face at this point. This one Reaper comes across the map. There is a factory build in the Cyclone, but it's not ready yet. And we will probably get this SCV build in the command center initially. Repair is actually good. But that's a lot of SCVs that just kept off the line, right? So SCVs off the line and another SCV starting to repair up. I mean, I like it. This Reaper isn't needed back at home anymore, so why not go across here and get something done with it? And that's exactly what we do. A couple of Reapers in the Cyclone continue to gather up. And we do see the barracks heading home. This barracks taking some shot in this command center, morphing into an orbital. He's going to float down to the natural in the next few moments. But as things calm down for a moment, I want to say thank you to Terranzoid. You're really making a case for him to hurry up and sort out my freaking YouTube notifications on the stream. Thank you so much for the €10 donation. No PvPs. No PvPs today. No PvPs tomorrow even. No PvPs for the next couple of days on the channel. How lovely is that? Just this one TVT in terms of mirror matchups today. And even better, we're doing the mirror matchup first, so it's just out of the way. We unload here. Obviously, we hit the racks a couple of times. Don't know if that's something we really need to stick to. There's the few Reapers in the Cycle on the ramp. Siege Tank on the high ground. Going to get a good shot off, and that should be the warning you need to just back away from this. No reason to kind of push into a sieged up tank. We're going to lose the Cyclone if we don't micro it, and Oliveira does mess up that little bit of micro, unfortunately. Cyclone gets back over. I mean, the new Cyclone's nice, but imagine you had the other Cyclone still around. Even low HP, even, you know, a little lock on and a couple of shots can do a lot in that situation. So, yeah, kind of a shame to see that not coming through. Barracks comes over. Raven and Interference Matrix coming up. Cyclone's going to lock onto the barracks here as well. Interference Matrix is going to complete, and the Siege Tank is on the way out of the factory. Marines is going to be sent out in the center. Again, Raven coming up. Marines command center, a couple of refineries continuing to build as well. Matrix, Raven on the way. Continue to build up for the moment. Raven, Interference Matrix, all on the way out. We do have ourselves the Siege Tank and Orbital Command building up as well. The army of Oliveira coming down the right. Marine, the Hellion coming through as well. All of these units collecting together on that right-hand side. We're ready to make this push in toward the main base over the next few moments. Again, that Interference Matrix and a Raven continues to come about here. Siege Tank and the Marines coming up as well. Oliveira still settles in and gets ready to push at the front as we do ready ourselves up. We're going to start moving forward. Tank is going to siege. The tank on the side of Kira is going to unsiege, and now an Orbital Command will go drop down onto the third base here for the next couple of moments as well. So just going to get that done. As we do have a couple of Vikings looking to make a little bit of a poke. Honestly, Oliveira leading off the early game. 7 workers ahead here, ahead on Army Supply 2. You cannot land this third base on location right now. As Kyo's going to try. He's going to use this as a chance to try and push tanks into position. He's actually in range there. The vision wasn't there immediately, but we have Matrixes available and auto turrets, so we will drop those to try and offset this fight. Vikings coming through as well. The Viking war will go the way of Oliveira. As does he have the tanks able to hold out on the ground? It looks as though he will be not quite okay, but the Vikings are great because they're going to shoot down the Ravens. We did lose the opposing Ravens. These tanks had to unsiege because of the Viking landing threat, and you can see how much they do to the, obviously, siege tanks. Bonus versus mechanical helps a lot there. The Raven goes down, and Q admits defeat as Oliveira will open with a 1-game victory. In the best of 3 here in the TVT, Oliveira has the 1-0 advantage and is off to a fantastic start here in Group C of the competition. If you missed WardiTV October last week, we already had some great games and some great groups. Showtime and Rogue advanced from Group A, Max Pax and Spirit advanced out of Group B. It's been a very good time so far, looking to see who will join the two Protoss, a Terran and a Zerg, in the playoffs after today. And of course, after tomorrow as well, we'll also have just our bracket fully known about, which is obviously great news too. I'll be excited to see what that looks like, because that will be playing out this time next week. We'll be having our round of 8 matches happening, so look forward to that. As we get ready to go, just going to try and make sure we invite everybody in. Got a few different people here. I forgot how many people were in the lobby. I think it was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've just invited 7. Okay, so we should be good at 7. Beautiful. All right, kick this off. Get this going, guys. StarCraft 2 resuming here. As Q's initial proxy Rax Reaper does not go anywhere near far enough. Go cold on both sides. 7 casters in the lobby is a sign that we can begin, and this TVT will continue. 3, 2, 1, and into game we go onto Oceanborn. Map number 2 of this best of 3. Everything's best of 3 today. It's just 6 best of 3s. We don't usually do 4-player round robin groups, but just figured for something like this, little small 4-player group would be fun. 6 live best of 3s as well. Nothing's being played ahead of time and casted from replays or anything like that. So, yeah, just all fun and games here in the WardiTV October event. In the top left-hand corner, our red Terran player representing Team Liquid. We're going to start things off with Cure. Taking on the blue Terran in the bottom right corner of the map, we have ourselves Oliveira, repping Weibo Gaming as we've mentioned. Well, Fezrax at home, Cure is going to send an SCV out. We'll see if this is just for the scout or if there's going to be anything in particular we're looking to get out of this. I mean, it's possible we go, yeah, second proxy barracks, so second Rax proxied, first Rax at home. The reason you would do something like this is because it allows you to kind of be a little bit less committed, but still apply pressure early if you feel like you want to apply pressure with the Reapers. The build of Oliveira here so far is going to be a single gas, which means that he's a little bit more susceptible to 2 Reaper plays. So if this was in the last game, he would have already been in a lot more trouble. In this case, single gas is fine. You can defend. This is not an undefendable situation or anything along those lines. Just, it is going to be a little bit more challenging. Your factory is going to be much later, and you're going to have way less units just in general because that factory is later. That means you also probably want to go like Marines at some point to keep up production rather than being able to keep on building Reapers. And that kind of makes it awkward in terms of being able to counterattack on the back of this as well. So yeah, a couple of ways in which this can definitely get a little bit weird for Oliveira early on as we get this game number 2 up and running. Heal drops into the main. SCV retreating back to the top. And the Reaper is going to show up and head down to the bottom right-hand side of the map as well. So Reaper going to go down to the bottom right. I look to see what's going on over there. Reaper's going to shoot. A Reaper actually goes low from Oliveira, so that's already scary. However, we do lose a Reaper to the Marines. The Marine fire is good for a kill. That's kind of a huge deal. Now this SCV goes down as well. Command Center going to be halted in production for the moment. Factory still building. A couple of Reapers on the way. From Cure at the moment. SCV continuing out. That Reaper is going to step away and back off for the moment. There's Oliveira. So he does have his own Reaper here with the Marine, and now we're on the way to the Cyclone. We're delaying the Command Center, which is nice, but take note, there's no Command Center at all at home from Cure yet. So delaying this CC a little bit is nice and all, but there's a lot more to be done. The Cyclone's going to make this very difficult, as Cure would love to get that SCV and delay a bit further on the Command Center. It's going to cost him a Reaper again, though, maybe even 2. Cure, today is not his day in terms of controlling these Reapers and being effective with them. He is not having any fortune at all here in these early stages. That is rough. Cyclone going to finish on both sides of the map. Reaper coming up. The Reapers and the Hellion continue forward as well. Cyclone locks onto the Hellion even, so that's not great. Second Cyclone now that Hellion's going to be extremely low. Doesn't actually die, but super low Hellion is not a fun Hellion in this case. And yeah, this has just not been pretty for Kira at all. Oliveira looking great here for game number 2 right now. Oh, Reapers, the Hellion and the Cyclone will come move about here, heading down to that bottom right-hand side. We do have the Medevac, Cyclone, a couple of Marines all coming in. Now units here from Oliveira, going to start locking on. Cyclone's from the other side. Oliveira with the Cyclone flank. Well, that's a move to guarantee these units are stuck. Depo's raised, so going up the ramp ain't going to save you. I mean, you kill everything apart from the Cyclones here as Q, but that's obviously just not that great, right? There's a bunch of Marines. The Cyclones are going to be able to come across the map and apply pressure, so Oliveira is getting away with the faster command center, is getting away with a good cleanup on the army as well. Oliveira definitely playing the better TVT to start things out so far today. As 2 more Cyclones will unload, and we continue to press into the upper left-hand side. Let's see how Cyclone's loading up again. Just going to be seeing other Cyclone getting picked away at. Good micro continuing here. Micro war very important right now as we are going to get a lock onto the Medevac. Might actually get killed. No, Medevac gets away. Oliveira does not get punished there. Would have been big if Kyo could have at least cleaned these units up. A little victory in this game so far. As your Sip Chip, thank you for the 37-month resub on the Prime. This always shows a second time. I'm sure the other day was 3 years. No, it was 36. I seem to remember that, but perhaps I'm misremembering. Thank you so much for the 37 either way. As the Liberator of Kyo comes down this left-hand side. Going to be heading toward the main base very shortly here. The 2 Cyclones still coming across from Oliveira as well. What day are the playoffs? This time next week. Tuesday and Wednesday next week will be round of 8 on Tuesday, semis and finals on Wednesday. Hoping that we get some good games, that they're not just super quick streams, because I'm a little scared of doing just 4 best of 5s and then 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 as a play day, but yeah, I think just got to do what we can. A couple of Medevacs continue up. Marine and Siege Tank still building as well. This Medevac Akira really is on a little bit of a hunt around, trying to figure out if there's anything it can get up to over the next little while also. Stimpack and 1-1 will be on the way. So Stim's a little sooner from Kua, but he's not got the 1-1 upgrades. And Oliveira already has a 3rd moving into location. Cyclones will go for a few SCVs, plus the Liberator gets a couple as well, so in a world where Kyo kind of needed to be the player to make some moves, here's the player that's making some moves. The Liberator goes down, but he got a Cyclone at the end of it as well, so a little bit of additional value just to finish off there. Again, 1-1 and Stems coming online. A combat shield building, SCV's tank, everything else continuing through. Missile turret setting up also, and this Medevac gets back to the middle of the map. Again, SCV there in the end. Tank, though, is able to get a Cyclone. He obviously wants to get as much as he can out of these units, so just get one more SCV. Takes another shot, though. Probably unlikely he gets anything more out of this drop for now. Probably time to just back it up and chill this out a little bit instead. And get around the right. We actually are going to lose the Cyclone then in the end, as the Medevac is going to come for dropping in. Marines and tanks unload, and we actually lose one Medevac immediately. Missile turret firing away, Medevac still taking shots. Missile turret falls, Interference Matrix go down. Tank's going to get caught there as well. Some other Marines coming back across. All of those tanks going to fall. Q just going to say GG as he attempts a big drop into this main base. And honestly, it just completely backfires. This does not go well for him at all. And that is going to do it for our first matchup of the day. Q are going to start off 0-1 and 0-2 in maps as well. In a group like this, tiebreakers actually do come up quite a lot. So the map score is important. And getting a 2-0 victory on the side of Oliveira, or losing 0-2 on the side of Kira, is very significant. So definitely expecting that to be a factor. As our next matchup here is going to be between Shin and Kua. So we're going to get Shin and Kua You're ready to go on this one. And we'll get this TVZ set on up for you guys. So we'll get that started in a moment. So yeah, we're going to have Shin versus Cure, the actual schedule for today. Shin versus Cure, Hero versus Oliveira, Hero versus Cure, then Shin versus Oliveira, Shin versus Hero at the end. So going to be seeing 5 more best of 3 still to come. A little bit of a fast DVT to start us off today. Hopefully we can get some more life in the games coming up here. Do, 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 do. Well, videos coming through in Ghost River, Post Youth, Crimson Cord, and Amphion videoed so far. One more videos, side Delta gonna get videoed up as well. Just really waiting around then for a couple of moments, guys. Do consider support the channel. A couple of ways you can do so very easily. Just obviously, if you're on the YouTube stream, you can like the video. It's actually very useful if you're on the YouTube channel. Give it a like. Get some more people to see the awesome StarCraft games we got coming up today. And if, of course, you're on Twitch, just hit that follow button. Keep up to date with when we're going live. Trying to go live as much as possible. I am away Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. Just as a little heads up. In fact, I'm away Friday, Saturday, Sunday the next 2 weeks. So a little heads up on that, but otherwise we're going to be streaming every single day that I'm at home. So just wait for, I believe, one more video to come through. No, actually, videos are all done. Side Delta and Golden completed the video process, so we're just waiting for Shin to pick map number 1 of this best of 3 TVZ, where we're going to hope that Cure's looking a little bit better, otherwise he might be having a very rough start to the day, and he might just be on his way out very early. Dynasty, going to be the opening map here. We'll get this hosted. Get this ready to begin. Machine gun. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 casters. Perfecto. And we can look to kick this off. Everyone's joining our lobby. Ready. This is Kira and Shin. Perfect. Let's do it then. TVZ action here as we get into Dynasty. Games continuing today as we have ourselves our second best of 3, Shin and Kira. A matchup that for me always has a bit of history after the WardiTV 2020 Grand Finals when Kira was undefeatable online and Shin just said, no he's not. just beat the guy. 4-0 in that finals was quite the shocker. Used a lot of the mutas and stuff back then. I mean, that's kind of Shin in a nutshell. Whenever he starts to struggle in ZVT, I feel like he goes back towards those mutalisks and uses those mutas. On a map like Dynasty, I could absolutely expect to see it as well, right? Pretty large map altogether. And, you know, Terrans kind of like it because of the gold base and being able to push heavily off of it. The only problem with getting to mutas on this map is it means that, you know, you're typically, if you want to go mutas, you play Ling Bane into muta. This is a world where, on Dynasty, you play a lot of roaches to be able to harass and to defend the gold-based mineral lines and stuff, so that is also a factor and something to consider as we get into play. Top right side, Kira is the red Terran, and the bottom left, Shin is our blue Zerg. Pick yourself and figure out what we are going to do. Going to be that pool coming down without the gas to start out with, actually, so a little bit difference there compared to maybe expectations. Our first Overlord coming across the map. Also, as we get set up, let's see what's going on. The drone's going to transfer. It is the hatcher on the outside of the gold. It isn't super crazy. This is a pretty normal play in this day and age. This is becoming extremely common, honestly. So it's becoming a pretty normal way to kind of just set up and to get everything going. So yeah, that doesn't come in as too much of a shocker or a surprise. Let's have our Overlord moving about a little further. And yeah, wait to see kind of exactly where this is actually going to go. We have an Reaper going to take a few more shots off the Queen, so a little bit more damage being done there. Queen's going to be able to sit out and obviously try and deflect this Reaper. The first Roach is coming up. As mentioned, kind of expecting a lot of Roaches in these matches on Dynasty because of the way that the gold base and the defending of the gold base works. So not too surprised to see that coming about already here as this Reaper does get pushed back around the other direction. Going to peel across here, try and see a little bit of what it can get up to, see if there's any trouble it can cause. See that Reaper continues around them. Just going to be seeing the Queen popping over. And Reaper continues to take a few more shots. Going to head down to the bottom side for the moment. So Reaper would just like to know what's going on. It's going to go down. I don't hate this though, because I feel like the Reaper has done its job of scouting, has been able to kind of get in there and see a little bit at the very least of what's going on, what's happening, what's taking place. So kind of good to see that continuing through. We have a couple Cyclones here, going to have to try and deal with the Roaches. Going to push those back, deal with that nice and easily. Now our Cyclone's obviously going to be a pretty good defense of that. Banshee and Cloak coming up as well. It's also going to be a good defense eventually. Something else that we can make work for ourselves, something else that we can find some value with in these early stages. We continue to get settled down. You'll see a couple more corrosive piles dropping out for the moment as well, just bringing those out too. Get that all underway. And the Banshee will be there in the end to start pushing this back too, so just going to push the Ravagers away. That's why the Banshee is so nice. Something that can actually push back like a little group of Roach Ravager without issue is just such a bonus. It's really, you know, a rarity in this day and age, and you know, Banshees, for how good they are, do not get that much love in TVZ nowadays. So yeah, it's not every day that you see these, and this is why these little Roach attacks can actually end up doing very well, and you know, end up being very substantial as well. Banshee going to come back in, and again, just doing exactly what it's made to do, cutting down that Ravager and making this a nice, comfortable hold. And that means you can just mine your gold base as the Zerg mines theirs, and both players have that gold base mining to continue looking forward to as the game gets into the next stage of play. Second one's locking on. Ravager going down again. Honestly, we've seen a lot of those Ravagers getting cleaned up. A lot of Ravagers going down. Something that's Yeah, arguably a little bit concerning, right? Don't want to just lose too many of them non-stop. We just get across the map. We're going to lose a few drones as well. It's actually going to end up doing a little bit more damage there as well. Another little bonus coming into play. Roaches at least get forward, and they are going to get the cycle in the Marines, but the Banshees are still going huge. The Banshees, if nothing else, dealing some damage and making this all work out. So those Banshees definitely delivering. Now pulling back out into the center of the map, but 7 drones going down. Q is only about 5 workers behind here. As the Hydra Den comes up, we will see Shin then moving from Roach Ravager into Hydras as the accompaniment. Obviously not always the case. Sometimes you see that Roach Hydra being a step towards the, into, Ling Bane later on. But yeah, Roach Hydra probably leads into Lurkers. And then you, obviously from there, we'll probably add Ling Bane, much further into the game. Typically the expectation. Merger fires. It's SCV. Few shots coming through. Just gonna be seeing the Ravages coming about on the other side. Take some shots as well. Just for now. Ourselves the medevacs loading up for a little bit. Evacuating away for the moment. We're just going to run forward again. Siege Tank is going to be there on the high ground, hitting those roaches and actually doing quite a good little bit of damage to start off with, if nothing else. So some good damage being dealt there right from the very get-go. Shots continue to come out, and we are going to be seeing the scan. The play cleanup, but 13 SCVs going down is obviously pretty significant. That's quite a lot of units being dropped there, actually. So I hurt a little bit. As do have the SCVs coming back over here. The Banshee is there to deal with this Ravager when it pops up out of the ground. Ravager will try and get one more SCV as it burrows up. It will regenerate once again. So I'll just continue to play that game for the foreseeable future, apparently. Up and down, a little bit of a nuisance being caused. SCV is going to be moving across as well. Banshee firing, just going to see another scan coming about. The Hydra's going to step forward, there's going to be a missile turret. We'll go down straight away, there's a couple of roaches burrow, just going to get set to unburrow. The Hydra is coming over. Medevacs will take a couple of shots, but neither will go down. Marine tank continuing across, the medevacs overhead. And there's a couple of SCVs also continuing to gather in for a little bit. The tanks join up. Let's see a few of those Marines stemming up to the top side. We'll go and try and jump on top of the roaches. First roach, second roach going down immediately, so it's going to be able to grab those. Hydra and burrowing, Marine tank moving back over the right hand side. A couple of Vipers, seismic spines, Ling speed, +2 missiles, and +2 carapace, all continuing about here as that roach takes another step forward, takes another beating off of the tank shot. And these roaches will continue into this mineral line where the SCVs are once again going to have to retreat the hell away. Medevacs healing up the Marines. Marines and Medevacs gathering. 2-2 missile upgrades coming up. Seismic spines, Ling speed, all building. The extra Lings are going to be popping. So like I say, as you hit Lurkers, getting Lings out. Because you want the Lings to be able to kind of run up in front of the Lurkers. Otherwise, the Lurkers can just be kind of dealt with by siege tanks, which is not really what you want to happen. So having the Lings to kind of run in front of the Lurkers and absorb a lot of the shots initially does very well for you. Adrenal glands and adaptive talents continue to come up. We will see our Lurker Den Getting those lurkers out, and obviously means that this army of Shin's looking pretty scary. Q's supply only at 160. This is a game where he does not have ghosts or anything. This is just Marine tank and some Vikings. Don't love this for Q right now, as this position is going to be rough. He's already going to have to back away from his gold minerals. That obviously potentially leads into this low ground, which probably would have been the next base location for Q here. And Delk is already going off. Again, just the lack of ghosts is extremely alarming. What's more alarming is we don't even have a Ghost Academy. Right, so we don't even have a Ghost Academy in play. And Kira is just... I mean, he's dead because he doesn't have any proper tech. I mean, building Vikings to deal with the Vipers. I could understand if the Ghosts went out, but to not even be on the way to Ghosts is kind of... It honestly has me a little bit flabbergasted. What a wild situation for someone like you, who's usually just so good, especially on top of his transitions and everything. Kind of crazy. CC's going to float down to that low ground again. Hydras and Lings continue up here as well from Shin as we bring those through. The tank's going to fire and a couple of lurkers getting shot at. Vikings and tanks coming overhead. And then the production tab, I just can't believe we're still building Vikings of all things. Here's Lings gather up, another scan comes down, a little bit of Roach Hydra on the top side, hitting towards that orbital in the north. And across that middle patch into that gold base. Still moving about. Lurker's going to take a few more shots, going to go down. The Ling's going to run forward here. The tank's still firing. A lot of Lings taking quite a lot of damage, honestly. Most of these tanks hitting back. The Lings take a few more shots. Ducked on the siege tank, going to get grabbed. A few Vikings are going to be firing. The Marines load back up on the medevacs. Now another tank or two getting abducted as well. Those tanks will both go down. Now we're going to stim up the Lings, making a run forward. I mean, Curious never had the supply to deal with this. He's never really had the tech to deal with this. Tanks can buy you a little bit of time, but this was never a game or a setup which was looking as though Shin was going to be in any trouble. And Shin takes the 1-0 lead in this best of 3. Kind of a weird game from Kira, to be honest. And into our second map here in a moment. Don't actually know what second map is. They only said that first map would be Dynasty. It's going to be between Oceanborn and Alcyone. We'll check that. To Oceanborn. Alright, let's go into Oceanborn then as Kua down a game. He's already 0-1 in the group, obviously with a loss to Oliveira. This is obviously concerning because now if you lose to Shin, especially 0-2, there's not a lot of situations that get you out of trouble there. Not a lot of situations get you out of that problem, so that's probably going to be very bad for you. Thank you, both saying go. Let's just jump into game number 3 then and see if Kua can bounce back. Sorry, game number 2 and see if Kua can bounce back. Hero is going to come out next. He's going to play Oliveira, and then he's going to end up playing Kua after. Yeah, I'll see. Well, interested to see where Hero ends up, but this is just not looking good for Kua at all. This might become very quickly a 3-player race. Obviously, Shin Oliveira and Shin Hero being the final matches of the day could become extremely decisive. So now let's just get into it. And I kind of hope that our Red Terran in the bottom right corner of Oceanborn is going to be able to step it up and bring it back just a little bit at least. In the red, our Terran, it is Kua. Top left is going to be the blue Zerg player. This is Shin. Game 2. And we're going to open pool first already, so Shin maybe looking to mix it up. Obviously, Shin is a player who is not afraid to be aggressive. If he feels like that is the way to play the game, he will absolutely step up and bring that firepower, hit the roach timings and all of that goodness. So it's definitely a possibility from Shin. Do not discount the possibility on that one as the barracks and the gas went online from Kua. Very interested to see what Kua does. That's coming up, getting settled down. The SCC coming up. Orbital Command, the Reaper coming out, the Fuelings, and a Queen coming through as well. Drones keep on mining. Reaper on the way up. Command Center coming through. The SCV's coming about as well. Fueling's going to step away. That drone transfers over to the third base. Yo, Mad Alien, thank you so much for the 55-month resub. Welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting the channel today. And the WardiTV events. We'll just take a moment to obviously remind everyone this is a WardiTV tournament. WardiTV events are powered by you guys pretty much. So if you are enjoying, if you've enjoyed this event, you want to support more, do consider subscribing to the channel here on Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, you can become a YouTube member, or you can super chat. And universally, you guys can check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/WardiTV. 100% of pledges on Patreon go directly into more tournament prize pools. So if you want to, again, support more events like this, see a WardiTV November event, maybe something a little bit larger at the start of November, then do consider subscribing, supporting, and all the rest. And don't forget, if you're on Twitch, if you've got a Prime sub, check to see if that's available. Use your Prime sub. Make that free money into StarCraft games. We get punched back. The two command centers from Kyo continue to come up. The reactor is on the way. SCP about to finish. Orbital Command coming through. Queen is going to get there, and the Reaper is going to take a few more shots. You've seen the Reaper continue to hit the drones, taking some damage. Grenade coming about, some drones coming through. So we see now aliens coming around again. Drones, the roach roaring, Evo chamber continuing to come online. Aliens will begin to move forward. That's your roach coming up. Obviously, the Banshee and the Cloak coming in as well. The Hellions going to get pushed over the side. Evo chamber builds and then cancels. He's going to try and dive into this third base. Evo chamber block is not going to be good. We are going to get rid of one drone, now two. Queens are going to get over. Roach is going to be there. And the Hellions continue to get pushed away. Well, Banshee's obviously really nice when you're playing against Roaches because they can obviously act as a bit of defense as well. Shin's not being overly aggressive. He's droning behind this, and that's an issue for Kua. Needs to keep those SCVs building because right now 15 behind, about to be 20 behind actually, is getting up toward being a problem, right? So definitely something to think on and try and fix as these Hellions dive through. That's a bunch of drones going down. Okay, Kua finding some life in this game out of nowhere suddenly. I mean, 9 drones being killed is going to help him out. I was just saying, I'm concerned about the work account, and boom, just like that, Kua's like, be concerned no longer. Starport lifts off of the tech lab, moves over to the side. Factory going to move off the reactor over to the tech lab as well. Banshees will move up toward the top. Banshee's flying over there, just going to try and see what they can do. Just going to start hitting the Queen a little bit. Queen already taking some damage, so a few shots coming out on that one. Banshee's going back over. Queen. First one goes down. Second Queen going to start taking some damage as well. We are going to very nearly lose that Banshee, but it just about manages to stay alive, so that's a big plus. And pull over the side. We are going to see finally Banshee going down, but can we get another Queen out of this? We'll see a Queen continue to move about. 1-1 upgrades and Stim back continue to come through as well. Still got the combat shield coming online again. All the upgrades continue to come through for the moment. As our roaches get back up toward the top. Keeper's going down. Marine stepping forward. Siege tank is going to come across as well. Giving ourselves a army from Q that's setting up across these 3 bases. Getting the armory down, but also 3 additional barracks. So we're going to be 8 racks in here. So 2-2, 8 racks. She's going to be trying to knight us. We'll see if Q can build up enough firepower here. The roach just step forward and the Marines and the Medivacs pull back. Siege tank's already going to start firing onto those roaches. Quite a lot of those roaches going to take big hits. I mean, it's 1-1 roaches from Shin, but the tanks are just not being stopped. There's not a single Ravager in this army. We're going to kill 13 SCVs, but I honestly think this is kind of fine for Q. He kills a lot of roaches. His economy's still fine. You know, he can rebuild some of those SCVs that he lost. He's on triple CC. I mean, Shin is on his way to 2-2 upgrades. What an interesting fight. What an interesting choice to decide to go there. Overseer is setting up on the corner. Obviously would like to get some Nidus down and start harassing in that regard. I'm going to take position. Roach Ravager going to be there. Bio is going to hit those Ravagers. Ravagers taking a lot of shots. Continue to unload here. Overlord taking some more damage. Burden back up. We pull away. 2-2 missile upgrades still coming about. Roach Ravager laying on the way through. All these barracks continue to layer out to the front. Well, Biles is going to be seeing the Knights going down. Keeps on fighting. A couple of creatures going down. Definitely Q against some force on the map. Drops on the top side as well. Going to keep some of Shin's units back as well. Anything you can keep back a step is generally going to be seen as a big plus here. As the Roaches get forward and the Bio is going to be forced to lift back up into the Medivacs. Going to fight forwards here. Another round of Roach Ravager. The tank line is deep behind this, though. Here is moments away from 2-2, which would obviously help. Obviously, as long as he can keep the tank safe for long enough, this should be fine. I like the SCVs pulling on the bottom. You can lose some SCVs to this because it's pretty committed out of Shin. It's so Roach focused, right? As this double drop on the other side is an issue for Shin, but at the same time, it's an issue for Q because if those units were back over here, I think he would have cleaned this army up, no worries at all. Now he's got some serious work to do to kind of make this game stay kind of level. He's going to get rid of the entire main base. He is going to start training with this Roach Ravagers. Reinforcements putting in some work, and we will begin to chase those down. I mean, Ravagers are expensive. Killing those is huge. We're going to go drop to the low ground. Of course, this is where the mobility of Roaches is going to be punished, as we do not unload on the low ground, though. Surprised. Here he gets a little supply blocked and may have to fix that. Nidus in the back of the main base as well, so he's going to be tested, moving around in different places. And Nidus in the main is a big issue if we do not get anything there to deny it, and I don't think Q has. No, he had nothing there, so now the Nidus pouring out of the main and the production line secure, and obviously the defensive setup is going to be absolutely distraught against this. Orbital will live to give us some surface area, trying to push our tank into position, figuring out where the best place for that might be. Roach is pouring out as many as we can get. Corrosive Vials drop straight onto that siege tank. It will not last very long. I think Kira was obviously not in the best positions. I think he was in some trouble, but letting the Nidus up in the main is rough. We are going to see, though, BioOverEra is going to find a bunch of drones. The Roach Ravager not going back home. The problem is his production is being camped. Well, I mean, right now, anything that shows up here is not exactly doing great. The Bio will have to kite away. Like I say, Kira definitely made it close. He couldn't let the Nidus go up in the main. I mean, if without any production, you're just dead. Any unit that spawns dies instantly. Camping production is a GG scenario in a lot of cases, and this is exactly going to be one of those as the Roaches continue to take some more shots, and Kira is going to be down 0-2-0-4 in this group. Not looking great for him at all as the siege tank stays contaminated as well. Nice little additional touch. We're going to try and kite away and slowly find the efficiency to clean this up. I mean, I appreciate the effort, Kira, but I think that's just a little bit too much of a ask. GG, Kira not having the day at all. He goes to 0-2 as he's going to have Hero left to play against. If he has any chance in this group, he would have to probably 2-0 Hero, which obviously is not going to be immediately very easy, so yeah, unfortunately for Kira, does not look great for him. We are going to go into Hero versus Oliveira up next, guys, so we're going to get that ready to go and kick off into more StarCraft 2 action as the games continue here on the WardiTV October Group C. So we'll get that Group C third matchup ready to begin. We're just going to get our players online and in the party and vetoed. We'll be back in a couple moments. More StarCraft coming. We'll be right back. Hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned during the break. As we are going to go into Hero versus Oliveira here. Next matchup of this group. As we have PvT time coming up. And after this, going to be a couple of PvTs actually. As Hero will take on Cure afterward. And then Shin versus Oliveira. Shin versus Hero to round things out. Let's see what's going to happen as we head into Oceanborn. And get this underway in the bottom right hand corner of the map. Our red Terran player, this is Oliveira. Top left, our blue Protoss, it is Hero. Here in the top left, Oliveira in the bottom right. We get ourselves going for our third series of the day. Being a little one-sided so far today. Would like to see some back and forth. Maybe a game of 3 would be nice. Probe nibbling, SCV taking some shots of damage, nothing too crazy there. You're seeing the SCV gets chased away, Marine coming about on the barracks as well. You get that on the go. That probe comes back down to the low ground, just going to bring this back over. Marines chilling. Again, next in the Cybercore, continuing up. The Adept and the Warp Gate coming through. Factory will be building as well, so we get that into place and get that started. Adept will Chrono Boost out of the gateways. Just going to bring that about. Warp Gate coming up. The Adept coming through. Again, the Nexus and the Probe continue to come online. As our reactor will be finishing on the barracks in a few moments. Bunker coming online as well. Bunker completes, Marine jumps in. Again, SCV still building the command center for the moment as we just play very safely. Always just does not want to deal with any of the nonsense or harassment that could come out on the side of Heroes. So just making sure that bunker is open, then we're going to be super safe. Hero won the last 9 series versus Oliveira. Wow, that's actually a wild stat. I did not. I would not have thought that at all. That's actually a really crazy stat. Jeez. I mean, I feel like Oliveira is always, usually a good match against Hero, but wow, that is actually great. I'm genuinely a little bit taken aback by it. But we do have a couple of attempts going to continue to shade around, so we can continue to move about and see where they can go. The Hellion will be trying to clean those up, so just trying to get that sorted for the next couple of moments. A couple of Adepts coming back towards the upper left. Blink coming up, a couple of gateways coming by. Hellions continue to produce as well. The Adepts in the Stalker moving around, the extra gates coming online, the probes are still building. Quarter mines heading up to the top. Just going to make their move over there. Going to have already one pylon in position on the naturals. Just going to have that in place. Robo facility coming through. The blink is still chrono boosting on the Twilight Council as well. And we have the Observer and a couple of assimilators continuing up as well during this medevac to the top. New Widow mines inside. Gonna come over and Widow Mines will begin to unload. First one goes down as we get the full surround. Second one. Third one does not go down though, and for all of the nice cleanups there, a little bit wasted by the fact that that third Widow Mine gets connected, and that's now 7, and now 8 workers killed as the Hellion goes big here as well. 9 is the final kill count. Well, Hero's gonna have to get across the map and try and deal some damage. He is on 3 gateways of Stalkers, so he will have a fair few, but losing those probes is rough because now you're not going to be able to continually produce your units while also building your third base, which is what you should be able to afford very soon. Instead, here we're going to see 400 minerals stack up. We'll see if he decides to go into Nexus or if he is just going to warp in Stalkers. Looks like, yeah, Stalker warping actually. So yeah, he's going to decide to commit to units. Feels like he needs to do some damage back across the map, but this was not a good defense early. And Oliveira taking the edge right now in this game number 1. Raven still moving about. A couple of Adepts are going to shade up toward the high ground as well. Depot will raise right there, though. Say nuh-uh to those Adepts just now. Raven is out here as well. I'm waiting to see what that Raven getting up to as we are going to blink in. Siege Tank will go down immediately. We drop an Order Turret as well for some extra DPS. It's not going to change much on the Stalkers. They're in a position to go into the main base next. There are a few units over there. The Adepts in the back of the Natural. Potential to get quite a few SCVs as the units that were on the way over did not go there. They actually went toward the main. Surprised by that. 4 SCVs killed. And Hero is bringing this right back as both players are stumbling on the defense. Definitely making mistakes that are a little bit of a surprise. The Stalkers will continue to fire it up right now. I'm just going to go over to the sides, hit the SCVs a little further as well. Bit more damage continuing to be done. And the Marines will once again come on through, +1 attack. The Stim Pack coming in as well. All of that continues into play currently. Now I'm just going to drop a depot into place also. Just going to get that on the go. Focus, get back. Pulling towards the upper left-hand side. Raven is coming back in that direction as well, so we continue away with that one. I'm just going to be seeing the Raven back to the top and getting ready to position back in toward the main base. Oh, turret's dropping down. We're now going to see the Stalkers taking a few shots also. Have ourselves the next continue to move around. A couple high tempers will continue to step up. We are going to see this probe moving around as well. Continue settling here, just having ourselves again a bit of bio. The tank all setting up for the moment. I see the medevac and the bio units coming back across the left. The storm is already on the way through. High Templar coming up as well. Bringing that around for now. Another little warping coming through. The storm is building. And Oliveira is going to start moving out onto the map. Well, we are going to see that Prism ready to harass into the main. But guess who's here? Not just a Viking, but a missile turret too. Prism is going to get 2 Zealots out. Not ideal for Hero. Now he doesn't have much harass on the map, and that means Oliveira can full send on the other side. Fully focused on his own attack, not having to worry too much about what's over here. A couple of Stalkers already dying. Storm isn't done yet. Oliveira may be playing a little cautiously, expecting the Storm to be done, but it's actually not ready, like I say, just yet. I mean, nothing wrong with a bit of caution, though. I don't think he needs to rush into this either. I think time is a little bit on his side. Super Battery pops, so we'll just wait that out. We're actually going to load up and make a big play in towards the main. I mean, Hero's going to go blinking in, but he's going to eat Widow Mine and tank shots. It means we are going to be out of position as well for the drop into the main. And unless we recall these High Templar, there's not going to be any Storms in this. Maybe it's to play defense. Auto turrets drop down as well. There's Storms. Oh, he uses a Prism to transport the High Templars back. We do get an Archon Morph in there. Oh, what a wild set of moves. I don't think Oliveira ever had to go for the big drop in the first place, but he did, and now here he is, blinking forward. We will get a low HP medevac. That's the one that does not have units inside those, so that at least is a small benefit on the tail end of everything else that's happening. Like I say, a pretty crazy little situation breaking out as our bio units still fighting against some more of those Stalkers. Damage continuing to be done. The Raven taking a shot from those Stalkers as well. The bio units coming back over the right-hand side, joining back together. The Viking and the Widow Mines moving about. Zealot gets turned around again. Stalkers going to step up and in at one mine for the moment. Man, that was a crazy, just like I say, collection of plays. I think Oliveira felt the need to do something a little bit more serious and severe than what was probably really necessary. Don't think he had to go diving through like he did there, if I'm going to be completely honest, but that is the way it went. Our Stalkers blink backwards, the Immortal Zealots and a Sentry gather up as well. Army now coming out the front of the third base. With a mining shot good on the Zealot. As I do have Stalkers continue to cruise about. Widow Mine forces the blink back once again. Another shot. Prism taking damage. We come down to the bottom. SCV goes down. Manson potentially going to take some shots as well. EMP is looking to come through, aiming towards where those high Templars would drop out of the prison. We're just going to dive through this. Oliveira says, I don't care about the weather. He's diving into a dangerous army, though. There's a couple of Mortals here that are super tanky in these situations. Two more high Templars were thinking of coming forward, but they realize that ain't a good plan either. Hero now going to have Widow Mines burrowing up near his Stalkers. Has to play the blink away. Has to escape out of here. And man, chaos across the board. You can see the bio units still trying to chase down those Stalkers as we go back across to the other side of the map to settle this down. Getting a little crazy here, isn't it? Getting a little bit crazy up in here, as we do have the Medivacs moving back over to the left-hand side, so it's going to move back over in that direction. And you see the few Stalkers moving about as well. Try to see what else is going on. So the Stalkers keep on moving up. Just going to be seeing the Medivacs chased away once again here. Medivacs and Bio still gathering together for now, figuring out what the next move is going to be. The Zealots are going to show up and jump onto a Widow Mine there, so it's going to get a little grab. Bio gathers back up together. As we come back over, keep on moving, getting to the upgrades coming around as well. So we're just going to be chilling out, continue to hang around a little bit. Gonna see a couple of Vikings, the Barians moving back up and over. Well, we do have the pushback. Oliveira sits 160 to 140 supply, so a little bit of a lead there. Two upgrades finishing shortly from the Terran. There's actually an armor upgrade currently in favor of Protoss. That will extend to +3 armor shortly. And it was an armor-focused game from Hero, which is not something you see very often anymore, to be honest. It's kind of interesting. Let's continue to move around. Marauder going to jump onto his Zealot there as well. Continue to deal a little bit more damage, so a little bit more coming through there. Vikings going to get up and they're going to pick off that Observer. It's going to be another nice catch in that regard. Nuke launches up into the sky. As you know, the storm coming down, the Vikings step forward. I mean, the super battery is going to help a lot. And Oliveira does have to be careful about this fight. Just going to step back. Gonna have our Vikings continue to come through. Another nuke coming in. A lot of probes actually did land. That nuke did land on a lot of those probes. So that's actually pretty nasty. As Hero is obviously not exactly in the best of positions anyways. But a nuke like that actually really does start to seal the deal a little bit. Those Vikings eating storms. We will get rid of one Colossus, but the other will remain an issue. The Disruptor dies before it connects. And the Advanced Ballistics on the way as we're making Liberators behind this. Oliveira taking a step in the right direction to ensure his comfort zone in this game. Stalkers blinking forward there as well. A few Zealots going down. I mean, this is a fight where it's 2-2 versus 1-3. Vikings land another disruptor killed before it can have an impact. I don't think Hero sees the other side of this fight. He's just about to finish up +2 attack. He lost a Forge early, right? So that's why he was on the armor upgrades being favored when that drop went to the main base. It's one of the things that that drop did achieve originally. Hong Kong gonna get picked off. Bio still moving up to the top. Battery, Nexus, Pylon all taking hits. Gonna jump onto that Nexus once again and continue to pick through this. A few Zelds are gonna come over. Disruptor. And the rest coming across as well. Liberators will be sieging. GG is gonna get called. That is gonna do it for this one, as we do have ourselves Oliveira taking 1-0 lead in the matchup that he's not won in the last 9 times that they've met. Can he transition to a 2-0 advantage and absolutely put a pin in that discussion and say, no, I can absolutely play against someone like Hero. As Ghost River will be the second map. It's small, it's aggressive. Kind of map I think you kind of like a lot of the time as Hero. Also the kind of map you like as Oliveira. This map was so interesting to me. I mean, it actually gets played a lot. So, it's always an interesting factor. We'll get ready to rumble. Just a few. There we go. Oliveira's in the replay. We were waiting for him to come out so we could actually jump into the lobby for game number 2. Couldn't host until he was out of there, so slowed us down a second, but not too much. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We just passed the 1,000 viewer mark here on Twitch, and we are up to 150 views on YouTube, which is amazing. So good to see you guys enjoying the YouTube streams again. So glad we brought these back. And we'll continue to bring you guys YouTube streams. Probably 2-3 times a week is the goal. Kind of depends on what content we've got. I would like to keep the YouTube streams as high quality as possible. So, yeah, just as long as we have like good matches to put on the YouTube, we'll continue to do the YouTube streams. We're going to load into Hero Oliveira game number 2. As Oliveira looking to go 2-0 in this group. Make this a very interesting. Actually, could potentially, the way that this is going, could potentially land us on like if Oliveira beats Hero, depending on what happens next. Could land us Hero Shin, could just be a fight to get into the playoffs. Definitely some drama there, potentially. As we head into the top right-hand side of the map. The blue Terran player that leads this series 1-0 is going to be from Weibo Gaming, Oliveira. Top left, our red Protoss is Hero. As we get this up, ready to rumble. Stream everything on YouTube. I know, but the problem is the YouTube algorithm, and it's like a really weird thing. And I don't know. Some days I don't. Some days when the game's on is good, I know I don't cast as well, and I like to think I at least put most of my better casts on YouTube. Maybe I just need to get over it. Maybe I just need to get over it. We'll see, though. There's some things I probably... The other thing as well is, like, yesterday was a good example of just, I don't like the YouTube streams having, like, a ton of downtime. And yesterday we just had, like, 45, 50 minutes of downtime between games. Because it was an open cup across the course of, like, a couple different matches. And that's, kind of brutal, actually. Kind of brutal. Oliveira top right, Hero top left as we get into this. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm going to keep an eye on how the numbers look and how they're all working and so on. I was gonna say our next is coming up, the assimilator coming through. And get settled down for a couple of moments here as we just have our factory coming online, the reactor continues into play, and our probe heading back towards the upper left-hand side. Last game really had it all. Some crazy drops, big nukes, some amazing storms. I mean, there was multiple times the entire Terran army was covered in blue, stormy pixels. That was a wild, wild game, honestly, with that reactor. Comes up here on the barracks, we get that set. Factory about to finish. Command center coming through, the SCV on the way. And getting all of that brought up into play here for the moment. Cyclone coming up, orbital coming in. We'll have ourselves a chance for Oliveira to get a little aggressive as the Cyclone pops out, right? We'll see how that goes. The Phoenix trying to boost on the Stargate as well as those couple of Adepts are going to figure out where they would like to be. Hellion coming up across to the top side of the map. And yeah, Cyclone coming online. The Medevac and a couple of Marines are coming through. SCV continues to produce. Hellion gets turned around by a little Adept. It's going to be able to grab that straight away. The orbital continues over as well. And so both players will be on their 2 bases mining now. The early game has not given us much, and with Phoenix on the way out, it's unlikely we see too much more of the early game because Phoenix are just so good defensively, and they're so good defensively, but not really something that's going to go and do too much across the map. Maybe a couple of SCVs. We'll see what these Marines and Medevac can do. Phoenix obviously not here to help with this right away, but the Adepts realize it quickly, and they're going to turn themselves around, keep themselves in a nice safe spot as the couple of Adepts continue back in toward the natural. Phoenix continues to produce. Robo facility in the gateway continuing up also. We bring all of this out and about. The Phoenix currently about halfway done. Terranzoid, thank you for another €10 super chat on the YouTube. SC2 needs high resolution textures from Microsoft. No need for big changes, just properly support 4K. As a as somebody who's not super up to date on their tech and stuff, I don't even know what that would look like. I haven't even seen what StarCraft looks like if you stream it in 4K or try to play it in 4K. So I can't comment, but thank you so much for another €10. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Phoenix is going to move out. The Adepts are going to come across through the center of the map, so we are going to get a little aggressive here. A little Phoenix Adept push. We have multiple tanks. I mean, this is all about protecting your your base units while everything else can deal with the Adepts, making sure you have enough. The Phoenix, I guess, would be wanting to lift the siege tanks up here before they do too much splash damage on the Adepts, but the Phoenix do no such thing. They will get rid of both the Vikings, a few Marines, and a Cyclone left over. I feel as though the Phoenix could kind of lift everything and kill everything here, almost. I mean, 5 Marines aren't going to take a lot of killing. The Cyclone wouldn't take much, and there's only a couple tanks left. I feel like the Phoenix were very absent in that fight. I understand they were fighting a couple of Vikings initially. Maybe that's something you do have to focus on, but by not doing any kind of lifts or anything along those lines, I really feel like we give up a situation there. Phoenix still gathering. Vikings building from Oliveira. The Marine and the Stimpack coming through. A couple of engineering bays coming up. The barracks is still coming online. Orbital command also coming through at the moment. Next is about to complete. The Immortal will finish very shortly. The Phoenix is about to be done as well, as Hero comes around the top. Missile turret in position already. First SCV going down. Phoenix will continue to patrol. Look how much energy they have. It really feels like they could have found so much more. Widowmine burrows. Hero is not going to see it, so he's going to eat a Widowmine shot. He's going to lose the Widowmine, but slashes the Phoenix all down low. It's going to limit how much more they can do, and I just do not see these Phoenix getting enough of a chance to, again, utilize the energy. Some of these Phoenix full energy, that's obviously essentially wasted potential, because if you're sitting on full energy, you're not generating any additional energy, right? So that is a big problem. Green Tank Cyclone continues to move around. 1-1 upgrades, combat shield, and concussive shells all being brought up into play as well. Extra barracks going through. The missile turret also building. Vikings do get some shots off. Phoenix getting pushed away. SCVs and lifted again. Missile turret helping out, and those Vikings are going to chase the Phoenix into the corner. There's some low HP Phoenix here up for grabs. Can we target fire correctly? We cannot. And the lowest of HP Phoenix are going to get away without dying there. Okay, a missile turret gets one of them. Now, honestly, if he targeted with the Vikings, those other couple of Phoenix might have gone down. Potential there for sure to get quite a lot of damage here, and needs to be careful about that. Down a game in this series, remember. Yes, series kind of relies on those Phoenix to some extent right now. Disruptor, Immortals, few Zealots, and a couple Sentries setting up as well. Continue to burrow up a Widow Mine, move to the left side, the Phoenix come back over. Again, the Marauders coming back through. The couple of SCVs are going to start getting picked off. So 3 SCVs go down already, make it 4, make it 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Finally, these Phoenix are getting value, but I was going to say, like I say, don't get trapped in the corner. I want them to get damage done, but I also don't want them to get trapped and start losing out in a big way. The rest of this group of units continue to come over. Everything continues through. I'm just going to see a couple of disruptors getting back up to that high ground as well. 2-2 upgrades still coming around. Phoenix still set up in the high ground. Continue to move about a little bit. Let's see the Zealots continue to move about. Just a couple of moments here. We have that Bio Force going to come back through, hitting a little bit for the moment. Let's have ourselves the army coming back around the right hand side. Again, Vikings 2-2. Game chilling out. Neither player really wanting to attack into the other for at least a little while here. So things do slow down. Disruptor shot just forward on mine. Siege tank setting up as well. Not sure if that tank will do much without further support. Oliveira's down on the low ground. Try and come back up. Disruptor's actually going to be good to shut that one down, so that tank will fall. As the Bio and the Vikings and the Medivacs all continue to collect together, figure out which direction they want to go in. Wouldn't mind lining up some shots onto those Phoenix as well. A little bit more potential and possibility there, as EMPs on the Phoenix obviously would be great. Knock away their energy and shields, make them vulnerable to the sky attack, and also just able to really join in. I was going to say the Widow Mine splash is going to be huge after those EMPs, and it is. Multiple Phoenix going down to that single Widow Mine shot. First Storm of Hero on the top side looking decent. He is maxed out against the little bit less supply of Oliveira. One Ghost caught in that first Disruptor shot, and obviously being pushed by the Disruptors is rough, because now you have to find your way out of these positions, and that's not always easily done. You're essentially attacking into Disruptors while playing defensively. Disruptors love it when you have to attack into them. So yeah, not having that kind of forward hold position is a little bit of an issue there for Oliveira. Kind of escape from this though without too many issues. 3-3 coming up, +1 ship weapons. Fire will continue to stem. A few more shots coming down. Disruptors. We actually deny one. We split from the next one. Pretty cool fight from Oliveira. I think this is going extremely well for him. We saw no storms able to come into play. The EMPs have been brilliant. The Vikings landing after dealing with the air threat of the Phoenix. And, well, some Stalkers have gotten caught on the tail end of this as well. Oliveira looking to break a 9-match losing streak against Hero, as he is up 40-50 supply after that battle. What a beautiful one as well. There was such a mix of things going on because he had to target fire some Disruptors, split from the next one, really figuring out what he was doing as the fight went on, and was able to hit the EMPs during all of that as well. One hell of a battle. Well, Hero does start to warp in Zealots to return from this, but he lost so many of his tech units. Reinforcement with Masters of Zealots doesn't necessarily net you a guaranteed advantage just because your supply is a little bit higher up. Oliveira just taking great fights so far. As the Bio continues to move about and looking for a chance maybe on that left-hand side. What a mine shot will go off onto a few Zealots. Siege tank is ready to fire up. The Zealots continue to go all the way over to the far right. Bio will continue through. We have ourselves the Zealots continue to take some shots. Stalkers and Disruptors coming online. The +1 armor upgrade coming in too. And we actually kill this location rather than a cancel. That's money down the drain for Hero that you're not going to get as a refund. So 400 minerals lost when it could have just been 300. Hero tries to step forward in the middle of the map to catch a medevac. Even that doesn't go well. The last few moments have been all about Oliveira. Disruptor shot. Not going to land just yet. The rest of this Bio stepping back and holding away for the moment. Stokes will try and come through again as the Ghost does go down, so that Ghost will fall. 3-3 about to finish from Oliveira, allowing us to obviously take an even more substantial upgrade lead. It's going to be 3-3 to 2-1 upgrades, so obviously Disruptors don't really care about upgrades, neither does Storm, and that's kind of the logic from the pros. It's like, well, I'm going to build some upgrades, but it's not too problematic if I'm super behind on upgrades because Storms and Disruptors don't really care. That only works as long as you still have Storms and Disruptors. The issue that we're getting to as well now is that these are going to be Liberators in the sky, and that's just going to force more and more of these gateway units to be made. You're going to need a higher Stalker count. Those units where upgrades actually will matter. So 3-2 on the way from Hero feels like an essential. As at the very least, Oliveira can be happy with the fact that he's going to be at least up in upgrades right now. And moments like this as well, this is where you can absolutely love your upgrades, because as your opponent warps in a few units, you're going to trade extremely well against them. The Super Battery's good though, some Zealots returning, and the Disruptor was something that we probably could have jumped on, but we didn't do so in time, so we don't get much done with that. Stalker Disruptor moves back towards the upper right side. Bio going to turn here. Disruptor shot trying to fire, hits one Marine, now two Marauders. Disruptor shot flying through again. Stalker, Archon, Disruptor, High Templar pushing in. Couple Marauders still going down to the Storm. Dropping here as Oliveira tries to engage from all angles. Hits an EMP on the High Templar. There's two Storms remaining now from what was 4 or 5. We actually had another EMP, so no Storms remaining. And Hero is just going to have to back the hell out of there. If you don't have Storms, I don't think you can take these fights. It's such a major part of how you engage as well. We're going to come back into Liberator zones. I mean, not all of them were siege, but some of them were. And that's always going to be a scary fight. Hero is taking a little bit of a supply lead, though, as Oliveira struggling right now. I think particularly against just what is a massive Disruptor count. What Oliveira probably just needs to do is probably keep on dropping, because Hero's trying to be super active with his army on the map. So some drops would probably be very good to continue with, and also just keep building Liberators. If he sets up with kind of libs and drops, I think it's going to get very tough for Hero, because he's not going to be able to break in aggressively. He's not going to be able to constantly kind of be at home defending. Fire pulls away, a couple of Stalker shots come through. Disruptor fires, just hits a single Marauder. Like I said, those Disruptors are an issue, but that's what you've got the Liberators for. Try and zone those Disruptors out. Don't let them get into forward positions. Don't let them get into annoying places in the first place. Now the Liberator showing up. EMP's going down. The Stalker's going to commit here. There's not enough Bio support. The Bio's going across the map. Don't get me wrong, the Liberators are putting some serious work, and with the EMP, they're able to do very well. Oliveira needs to go across the map, though, because if this was his plan to kind of be on the other side and getting damage done, he needs to be on the other side getting damage done. He shows up over here now. A bunch of Stalkers already here. Battery cannon to help out. Vikings will land. We do recall some of the units back, including some Archons, which are going to be tanky enough, I think, to have a big difference on this. Super Battery is out of reach. Going to turn into these Stalkers. Disruptors, yeah, going to make you kind of jump up into the medevac and escape. We do lose, I think, one full medevac there. Oliveira losing supply. He's going to try and nuke on this location. The Stalker warp in is probably just going to be good to get rid of that. No, he's not going to risk it. He kind of does. I mean, he wasn't wrong. The Stalkers weren't going to be in trouble. As now drops coming into this base, Robo Facility will be targeted. Robo Bay would be a great next target as well if Oliveira is paying attention to this group of Marauders. And he's going to trade with these Stalkers absolutely fine. That's not going to be an issue. Mentioned upgrades, obviously Hero did finish up 3-2 in the end, so the upgrades got a little bit better. We canceled some of those units, but not all of them. And these Marauders are going to get taken down. What does Oliveira have at home defensively? He has got supply, but where is it? Again, this is complicated because we're just going to mass fire Disruptors into this army. Oliveira's army is disappearing. The problem for Hero is he doesn't actually have that many units that can fight. Look how low HP some of these Disruptors are. He's going to lose tons of supply on the tail end of this. Oliveira chasing two more Disruptors, low HP going down. Did he just eat too many of those disruptors. At first, though, I don't know if he fully survives this coming out of the other side. Stalker's blinking into the Liberators once again, using the EMPs to soften them up. Ghost trying to hide in the corner. Liberators keep on sieging. Hero does not necessarily need to be fighting here. The supplies are going to come back to 138 to 136 and change a little bit as warpins and builds happen. Crazy game right now. Disruptor's going to set up again here. Might try and go elsewhere towards one of these corner bases. There's nothing stopping him from hitting those other locations, right? And that would move away at least from the current Liberator sieges. Well, this planetary is just going to go down. So that's actually a great catch. I mean, Oliveira kind of likes it because he's like, okay, you kill a planetary, but I get more time to re-establish myself here, so that's a big plus. And back down to the south. Zealot Stalker Disruptor coming through. Fire gonna be there. A couple of Zealots gonna get jumped on. Liberators will siege up. Another Disruptor shot coming through. Not quite gonna land up between those couple of units right there. Disruptor hits the Marauder. Charging up, Stalker Disruptor on the bottom side here. Continue to move about here, trying to displace those Liberators to some extent. They'll launch another nuke over here. This Ghost is in reach of a cannon though, so that's not going to go well. Main fight, however, and the Stalker Disruptor getting surrounded a little bit. Disruptor's going down now. The Stalkers are going to end up trapped over here. So these Stalkers are going to have to try and find a way to blink out of this, but Hero's just plummeting supply. He tries to recall out. A Widowmine hits as well. One, I think actually two Stalkers escape. My goodness. Madness in this game. 11 probes going down. The scan coming about. A couple Zealots load back into the prison. What a game. Oliveira playing against a frustrating style of hero as well, right? Because it's very frustrating to be up against this Protoss who is seemingly forever just throwing disruptors, face, and, he feels like he is behind, Hero should be behind, yet he still has such an army to work with as well. Stalker's coming back around, just going to get onto a sensor tower. Be a nice little pick off. Fire coming over, Stalker's taking hits. Two more shots going through, Bio going to fire again. Shots coming through. A few more Liberators staying sieged up. Just going to be going for a few more hits. Just going to be having ourselves a step forward here. Another Disruptor shot. Units dodging. Liberators continue to play the siege up here. Disruptor still being chased away. Another Disruptor coming around. Bio jumping onto the Nexus. Nexus will fall. Going to get the pylon next. Grabbing that also. And just seeing the rest of this Bio. A Liberator Ghost Force pushing through. EMP is going to start coming down. Actually going to get onto some of these Disruptors. Oh my god, he decides to go for it, but he hits the Disruptor shots. He didn't get the target fire, but I don't think it matters too much. As the Disruptors are down, the Stalkers are next, and this army of Oliveira is not stopping. 22 minutes on Ghost River for Oliveira to confirm the 2-0 victory, breaking a 9-match losing streak over Hero. Wow. Great games. Great games. We asked for something a little bit longer, a little bit more competitive, back and forth. I feel like we got all of it in that second game alone. First game was fun as well, as Hero is going to lose the first match of the day. Actually does make Hero Cure a little bit interesting, as there is a possibility for something, I mean, if Hero loses to Cure, he's 0-2. Cure's 0-2. Does Shin and Oliveira just naturally advance? I'm not sure. It would maybe depend on some other match scores. All right, we're going to get into this next round here in just a couple of moments, guys. Games will continue with Hero versus Cure, so we're going to get that on the way. So we'll get this set up and get some more PvT going. Wow, great matchup. I can't really stress that enough. That was just a great series. Oliveira delivers the most entertaining matches. He really does. He's definitely an entertainer in his games, isn't he? Video's already coming up, guys. Dynasty, post-youth, Amphion getting taken out already. How's everyone doing today? Let me know what's up. Let me know how you all feel. And thank you so much for joining us here for some WardiTV October action. Go and join the stream again. Just a little reminder, you can support the channel by subscribing, prime subscribing, and all of the usual stuff. Helps us to run more of these tournaments. Greatly appreciate it if you can help us out on that. As a couple of videos on either side: Dynasty, Post-Youth, Amphion, Crimson Court. One more video each, and then we will have ourselves some picks. Get that on the way in a moment. Golden Aura and Sight Delta are going to be the final two videos. That leaves us with Oceanborn, Alcyone, and Ghost River. So Oceanborn, Alcyone, and Ghost River to decide our maps. First map going to be Alcyone, something a little different to what we just saw in that previous TVP. Second map will be Oceanborn. Third map will be Ghost River. Perfect. We're going to get this set up, guys. Give me a moment just to move everyone into the correct places. Players ready to play today. Keeping the games going very smoothly for us. We appreciate that, players. Thank you very much. Terran and Protoss are set. If the players are ready, go GLHF called by both already. So we can kick straight into our next matchup here. Series number 4 in WardiTV October Group C. Cure versus Hero starting up right here and right now. As we get this up, running, and underway, let's see what goes on as we head into Alcyone for this next map. Alright. Exciting times. Again, thank you for joining us, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you for tuning into some StarCraft 2 as Alcyone comes up. Let's go into the bottom left-hand corner of map number 1 with the blue Terran player representing Team Liquid. We are going to have ourselves Cure up against the red Protoss in the top right corner of the map. We have ourselves Hero in one of this best of 3. Let's pick this up, figure out what the plan is going to be. Hero coming off of that loss, looking to obviously try and bounce back. Hero already 0-2 in this group, and it says on Wikipedia he's already guaranteed eliminated. I wonder if that's even true. If he 2-0s Hero, he'd be 1-2. Then obviously Oliveira and Shin are 1-2, and then here. I guess what would have to happen is that Cure would never be able to advance because of the head-to-head tiebreaker that would come of it all. And that's why Cure is already officially eliminated, which kind of sucks. Kind of sad. There's the one downside of doing these 4-player groups and doing every match live is that it does kind of sometimes have players playing a match here or there where they're already eliminated. So that is just the price of it's just the price of some fun StarCraft today, I guess. I guess that probe goes down. Sadcore Nexus all coming up. The reactor and the command center coming through as well. And the Marine is going to come out, check around a little. For a couple moments, Marine gun on a little adventure. The Adept and the Warp Gate continuing up. Factory here, building from Cure. And ourselves, the Marine's going to come back and fight the Adept, so a couple of moments there, so we get a few shots off. And the Cyclone coming up, the Starport and the Orbital coming through. The Adept continues to shade by, the Marines going to gather together as well. Blink on the way up from Hero, and we come out of that crazy PVT and resetting into this. Here's a little bit less of a kind of all over the map causing chaos player as Oliveira is, so you could definitely expect a very different vibe of TVP from, you know, that last match into this one now. Already expecting this to look a little different as the Marines come up, just going to chase the Adept shade away. The Marines and the Cyclone just gather up. Blink is on the way through as well and continue to get that going. Obviously with Cure coming across the map here, potential for some damage with that Cyclone and Marines. See if you can find anything in these next couple of moments. There's a second Cyclone in that medevac as well. Hero's very far forward with that first Stalker, so that's going to take some damage. Now one Stalker goes down, the Cyclones step away a little bit. Robo Facility taking some damage during this as well. I don't think that's ever in danger of going down. Robo Facility is going to drop. Have ourselves the Robo Facility does actually fall. I really did not think the Robo Facility was going to be in danger, but here we are. The Robo Facility actually dies. It's going to cost you all of your units though. Sakura gets the Robo, loses absolutely everything. Killed a couple of Stalks and an Adept, but yeah, I was just got to be careful that he doesn't die to a counterattack, right? Why wall off at the front like that? Basically, you don't want to let Hellions through if there's kind of like some kind of like harassing the main base. Hellions running through at the front. It's very common to get the walls up against Terrans if you're not quite sure exactly what they're going into, especially if you're playing Blink and not like Phoenix, which have a bit more mobility defending. As the add-ons immediately it's going to be going down the faction of Starport. We're actually going to lose so many add-ons here, so it's add-on kill time apparently. As we're going to see another tech lab killed off immediately too. Cure. Yeah, add-ons in a little bit of trouble there as the Temple Archives continues up. The Nexus and the Prism continue through also. We continue to bring that into play. Barracks lifts off, moves over to the side. Tech Lab drops back in. A couple of SCVs will go down again. Stalker's fighting that refinery. Not quite going down just yet. A couple more shots going off, and then we're going to be seeing. I mean, Stalker's just having a real time in this main base. This is because you lost those Cyclones, you lost those early units. But they're going to have a little bit more kind of staying and standing power against Stalkers, so I mean, Stalkers being able to stay in the main base for a long time, just poking at the edges. The tank's not far enough forward. That's another cancel reactor having to restart on the factory and just slowing down the progress of Cure in general. So much of what Cure would like to do in this game is now, like I say, much slower. It goes down, SCV still trying to repair, going to drop the depot down again. Raven. Center again, Storm and Charge coming up also. Marines on tanks, continue to move about. A couple of Stalkers getting chased back around. I'm gonna fight. A couple of tanks are gonna take damage. Marines tank continue to step up. A couple of Stalkers moving back over. Ollie comes over there. A couple of tanks will siege. We've seen a couple of Storms trying to get across. A couple of Zealots going to get grabbed as well. Just going to see the Stalkers continue to move back over. Storm's going about, Tank going to get picked off, and with the Storms, Hero is going to get a defense here, and Kira's army gets cleaned up. However, there's an attack on the natural and a drop in the main base that's had the probes running around. Unfortunately, it's not really been substantial damage for Kira. As he does get cleaned up and obviously pushed away. We'll see if Hero can do anything. He's marching across the map as though he might come across the map and get something done. And just going to move up, a couple of Water Mines. And they get jumped on. In fact, second Water Mine actually didn't get taken down, so that will live. Stalker's going to get there. Medevac goes down. Bio moving about. A couple of Mortals start firing. Those Marauders still taking shots. Extra Zealots warping in. And Hero's just going to say GG. Doesn't have enough to hold, apparently. So Hero's right to go chasing across the map. A game where multiple times Kira, unfortunately, just kind of gets cleaned up. Loses the army early. Loses the army a second time on the map. And a little bit of a hectic game, but Hero is going to get the 1-0 lead here, looking to keep himself alive in this group. Remember, Oliveira's 2-0. Hero's 0-1. Hero winning this would go to 1-1 with Shin versus Oliveira and Shin versus Hero left to play. Our second map will be Oceanborn. We'll see if Kira can have a better time here and take a map at all today. Again, it's a little rough because he's only playing for his own pride, I suppose, but, you know, good practice as well, right? You don't want to just waste, games, playing Hero in a tournament setting. It's not something you can do every single day, right? So, still good practice. That's always something that's worth mentioning, even if you're out of these events. A lot of the times the players will, take as an opportunity to practice out a series and to play out a best of. It's not completely worthless. I don't love the fact that it's a tournament where there's not really much benefit in playing if you're knocked out. Usually there's at least prize money difference for like 4th versus 3rd. We just couldn't afford that for this one, so. But yeah, like I say, one of the negatives of doing the format like this. As we do get ready for Oceanborn here, I'm going to kick this off. EVT coming around. Hero versus Kira. Alright, let's get this on the way. On the bottom right-hand side, down a game, our Red Terran player looking to try and take a map today at all. This is going to be Kira. In the top left, our blue Protoss is Hero. SCV on the map from Kira, so he's going to go a little aggressive across that left-hand side. Let's set up over there immediately as the gateway starts up. The SCV comes in. And the first proxy rack goes down. So we get that proxy racks into place here. And the assimilator continue to come up. Okay, and the probe on the way out. What kind of proxy are we going to see? Just a Reaper? Get some little early damage done? Or are we going to see something a little bit more severe, like some Marauders and some Concussive Shells? I would kind of guess just a Reaper. But Q is quite a creative player. Never really count out his options and possibilities of what he can bring to the table. Yo, Ian, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Wickle Harkle. Thank you so much for the generosity. Appreciate the gift. Thank you. So, Zealot on our side before coming through. The Reaper and the Orbital Command coming up as well. All of that on the way in here currently. As our SCV walks up, there's going to be a Nexus being placed down. Orbital Command, Reaper, Factory, all of that continues. The probe is going to be there nibbling at that SCV as well. A bit more damage pushing out to the edges. And there's that Reaper. Actually going to run past the Zealot. The Zealot is kind of meant to keep the Reaper at least a little bit busy here, so Reaper heading straight into this main base is, like I said, I guess the Zealot's going to go across the map and challenge the fact that there's not going to be any units there defensively as the Reaper messes up. But the force field, we're going to guarantee the kill. Not exactly looking great for Kira here, is it? Not been a day for Kira at all, unfortunately. It's been kind of a miserable set of games from his point of view. This full wall off is there, so that Zealot can only really force some SCVs off the line. Not exactly ideal either. Reaper will come back. Next Reaper, that is, second Reaper comes back. We'll fight the Zealots. I'm gonna have a Sentry and a Stalker on the map as well. The Sentry's actually coming across the map of all things from Hero to try and help the Zealot out, and is going to save the Zealot for the moment. So for the moment, the Zealot is saved, and the Sentry and the Stalker are going to go back the other direction. Weird choice not to leave the Zealot on the Reaper still and just bring the Reaper across, the Zealot across here early anyways. As we do get in. So we're going to fire the Reaper. Reaper taking a few more shots. I guess the Zealot does confirm that the factory's at home though, right? So it does give you some information beyond the proxy of your opponent. So maybe that's part of the reason why we just sent it across the map there as Hero. Maybe that's the information gathering that you can be kind of happy with. Reaper is going to get chased. Stalker is going to get that kill. Reaper will fall. Barracks lifts off the tech lab. Going to swap with the factory. And yeah, a couple of Widowmines going to step forward now. There's a Banshee on the way and Cloak coming up. There's a Medevac out as well. It already has 4 Widowmines in the main, so those other 2 Widowmines aren't going to be dropping. These 4 will be. Hero had a little bit of a mishap earlier today against Oliveira with the Widowmines. He's going to full pull them this time. It's going to be a lot of man time lost, though. Going to take a while to clean that up. The Stalkers do not have blinks, so that's an issue as well. One probe goes in, second probe goes in. That first Widowmine, yeah, we're going to save the first 2. Low HP. Yep, Stalkers walking into this as well. Going to go down. And we are going to get ourselves another probe as well. Honestly, 3 probes, 2 Stalkers, and 2 Widowmines still alive in the Medevac. Amazing. One of the Widowmines just walked across the map too. I think it's gone for a little bit too far. Unfortunately, the Stalkers will be able to grab it, but really not bad at all from Q. The Widowmines delivering here. Getting some really great damage there. A few probes keep on mining. Banshee, Tank, and the Marines, the Cloaking, all continuing up as well. Barracks continue to build up on the side of Q as he gets himself ready for the next stage of the game back at home. Yeah, just having that Medevac still there with 2 Widowmines constantly able to threaten. And now the Banshee shows up with Cloak. Observer on the way over, but that's 3 probes before we deal with the Banshee. So we get in, we get some damage done, we get a little bit more dealt. Nice stuff. Very well done for the moment. Observer going to go to the top, going to go chill out with that Banshee for a couple of moments. The Banshee on the bottom side going to come back across as well. Charge coming through, the Observer and Stalkers coming online, the Forge is also building. The batteries coming up as well as our factory is going to land down, build a reactor. Get that going too. Banshee just going to settle in on the left-hand side. Banshee at the top. The Observer will be there to keep an eye on said Banshee. +1 attack on the Forge. The charge is coming up on the Twilight Council. Marauders on the way in as well from Q as we continue to get that established here for a little bit. Mine's going to burrow. First one goes down. Second one is going to shoot at a probe. Probe will fall. Mine does end up taken out. Just have again Stimpack Combat Shield +1, all of that continuing in 1-1 actually from Kua. Been the best game Kua's probably been set up into, I'd kind of say all day. No significant deficit at the start. Hero is not in like a super killer position or anything, but I mean, it's not like Kua is like winning the game either. It's just he isn't in a bad spot, which kind of is a miserable summary to Cua's day, right? Basically, it's like, well, your whole day's just been like you've been in a bad, bad position from the very get-go. It's not exactly great news, but unfortunately, that does kind of just how things have been playing for him. So it's not been super pretty. Mortal coming out of the Robo facility, +1 attack upgrade coming through. The Robo Bay coming about. Gateway and the Nexus coming through as well. A couple of Zealots are going to charge forward. One coming about, a couple of tanks going to be there, Stalkers and Sentries getting chased away, and the Zealots in the main going to get jumped on by a little bit of bio coming across. Bio actually going to get a jump on towards these units as well. Is absolutely worth chasing. It's just going to see the Sentry going down. Stalkers still getting hunted. We're actually going to focus the Stalkers, which I don't hate, because obviously they would be able to blink away, but you're going to get the Immortal afterwards no matter what. Again, +2 attack, extended thermal lens continuing in here. See a couple of wooden mines continue to produce up off the factory. And yeah, +2 attack, extended thermal lens, all of that being brought into play for the moment. Bio going towards the upper left-hand side. There's a little bit of action over here. Prism is going to come through. We'll see how well Q handles that. Honestly, pretty well. Wooden mines are clearing up the Zealots. Let's come forward again. Bio units as well. A few SCVs again killed in amongst this, as we do have the mineral lines under attack. Zealots continue to put some work in on those. Marauders and Marines are going to show up and get rid of some Zealots as well over on the other side. Now the Bio is still stepping forward though. Jumping through, a couple of those Zealots going down. The Stalker is going to blink off to the sides. Zealots going to get grabbed. A couple more Zealots would like to come in from the right. Just see ourselves the +2 attack. And extended thermal lens coming in here. As the Wooden Mines looking to fire. Bio ready to keep going forwards. The Zealots going to be taking some extra shots as well. Stalker's still stepping up. The Viking overhead. I'm just going to be seeing as Zealots continue to take some hits. So damage being done. As it is going to be Q advancing onto this hero army and looking to try and make something happen up here. Let's do attack. The extended thermal lens still coming up. We have ourselves the couple Vikings and a couple Widow Mines continuing through as well, so we continue to bring that up and running. Mine drop is set up. We do see Stalkers looking to try and find some harassment, but the Wooden Mine is going to help to force a fast blink away. Hero's supply is starting to skyrocket again, man. The work count is just huge. He's on 5 bases and Q is only on the 3, and that's why Q seems to be stumbling. Not getting off of those 3 bases and advancing his position at all. Seems to be a little bit rough, as again, Prism speed coming up as well, getting that on the way. Disruptor producing, Prism speed still coming up, Zealots and Gateways all on the way out. We're going to see Missile Turret looking to get into the front as well. The Bio gathering with the Medivacs overhead, Vikings nearby, a couple of Wooden Mines moving forward. Soldier's going to blink down, the Bio unit's going to be stepping back, Colossus will continue to fire. That was very good, hitting the Wooden Mine there. Now we're going to be seeing the Missile Turrets. Not enough to get rid of this Prism, so the drop in the main base looking good. The Prism in play. These Colossus just continue to come through. A lot of SCVs taking damage. Zealots stepping up as Marauder continues to go down. A couple more Marines go down. Marauder going down as well. We turn with the Disruptor, firing up once again. Here's only at 156 supply right now. Not exactly ideal, to say the least. Okay, we're building. Cannons over to the side. Batteries 2. Next is coming up. Disruptor. +3 attack and +2 armor on the way in. Bio's going to step up. The Zealot going down already. Okay, the Widowmine shot going to be good onto those Zealots. Bio going to eat a Disruptor hit at least. Kira trying to step forward. Hero just has... I mean, Hero's just out-macroed Kira in this game. Like, the lateness of the 4th base and... I mean, Hero just completely controlling the map, so Kira is just not looking pretty. I don't know, I felt like a good start for Kira as well. Like, I felt like some fights went well for him. Some cleanups went good for him, but just getting into a very difficult spot. I just don't think he's done as well as he maybe could have done in terms of, like I say, establishing bases and everything else. Have those Stalkers linking back down, a Viking getting shot at. And a couple of Colossus going to be nearby. Disruptor and the +2 armor still continuing up as well. All of that continues into play currently. Yo, Kel has got 6-year resub. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for 72 months, 6 years of resubscribing. That's crazy. Hero just pressing on forwards. I mean, he does have less army supply, right? Kyo does have a lot more army supply because he's on so much less workers. But the thing is with Hero's army is he can kind of do exactly this. Threaten the push in and then just kite back and let the Disruptors do some of the work. And because he's got a massive economy, rebuild on the back end of this. He doesn't have a nearby kind of warping point is his biggest issue right now. Is Kyo pushing forwards. It looks a little scary for Hero, right? But that is going to be the nexus where we get the Zealot warpings coming from. Stepping into the center. Another Disruptor shot firing through, but that actually gets cancelled. Hero, this is a very bad fight for him. He needs to actually take a second. And what I liked about his army was he had Disruptors to kind of take advantage of the, the fact that his opponent was going to be chasing into him. Now those Disruptors are gone. This feels a lot scarier now. We do have low HP bio units. They're going to try and step away. Disruptor going to come in on the flank from the high ground, and Hero going to fire that straight through. Decent connection, actually. And the Colossus actually putting some work in as well. Kira doesn't have the economy to rebuild out of this. Has pretty much been the problem from the very start when the fight began. Hero 2-0. Kira will not win a map today. And this is going to come down to Hero, Shin, and Oliveira. As up next, we're actually going to have Shin versus Oliveira. And then Shin versus Hero. So, going to get into that in a couple of moments here, guys, as the action will get going. Get into that ZVT of Shin Oliveira in just a couple of moments. Get this up and ready to go. And, yeah, more StarCraft 2 action coming through. ZVT will come in just a couple moments. We'll be back in a couple as we get this going. I'll be right back, guys. See you in a second. Welcome back, everybody. Shin Oliveira coming up here at TVZ. Kicking off in a couple of moments. Get ready to go, go, go. Seven casters, Terran Zerg. One player's ready, second player's ready. Let's get into some TVZ. Shin and Oliveira are both in this position right now where they are unbeaten on the day. I wonder if this gets interesting, because if Oliveira beats Shin, I'm pretty sure, I mean, if Shin wins the map, it might become very, no. If Oliveira beats Shin, then it shouldn't matter. If Shin beats Oliveira, he goes to 2-0. Hero could never overtake Oliveira because he lost the head-to-head, but Hero should be able to overtake Shin, unless Shin takes a map. Nah, I think Hero should always have a shot no matter what, so yeah, kick this off and get this going. Get this into play. As we kick off into the bottom left side of the map, it is going to be our blue Zerg player here. This is going to be Shin. Taking on the red Terran in the top left corner of the map. This is going to be Oliveira. Game one of this best of three. Kicks off here on Amphion. Fun map to start on. As we work our way into another match of StarCraft 2. So if Oliveira wins this, he can guarantee himself first place in the group guaranteed. That's obviously an awesome spot to be in. Like I said, Shin versus Hero to happen after this as well, so that is still coming also. Max coming down, Refinery coming up, spawning pool on the way in. We having ourselves again the racks and the gas coming up, the SCV in production. That's settled down for a few moments. Just having our Overlord heading up toward the top side, so a little bit of movement, a little bit of motion. Obviously not too much happening straight away. How's everyone feeling today? Thank you so much again for joining us here in Group C of the WardiTV October event. So good to see you guys. Link's coming across early, so Shin trying to apply some pressure off the pool first. We saw him playing a couple of different things on the side of there's a matchup against Kira earlier. Links show up, Marine going to be pulling around. The SCV's trying to pull back into this as well. We do lose the Marine, but all the Lings go down, so a few SCVs pulled. I'd say that's too big of a deal. 4 Lings for Marine isn't exactly great, but the lost mining time makes it a little bit better, right? But not super crazy. It goes down. Queen just gets pushed back. Again, a couple CCs are building up as well. The Link speed coming up too. As we do have ourselves the Reaper just going to fight, the drone getting a push back as well. Reaper will fall, drone comes back over, little third hatchery going to get placed as well. Queens will just gather. A couple of those queens stepping forward. Ling speed coming up. Overlord's on the way. The drone's building. Again, Helene's coming by. Looks like Command Center will finish very shortly. It's just going to get that wrapped up here. And those couple of queens going to drop a couple of creep teamers down. to get settled up for the early stages. And the Hellions are going to come across. I'll see if Oliveira can find any damage with those in the first few minutes. And Hellions setting up, Overlord coming across here. Trying to see a little bit of what's going on. Well, Hellions actually going to find 3 drones immediately as they just show up on the third base. Oliveira gets some great damage immediately. Hellions will get taken down, but hey, a few drones, nothing bad about that. Yo, Zhao, thank you so much for the 6-month resub on the Prime. Thanks as always for the content. No worries, thank you so much for supporting it with the Prime sub. Appreciate it. It is the losers or the winners. This is a round robin, so there's no losers or winners. These guys are winners today so far. Oliveira 2-0 in the group, Shin 1-0. But no matter what, Shin will play hero after this as well. It's just overall match score that sends players through to the playoffs or not. Hellions trying to get through here again. Going to get to the mineral line once more. Oliveira putting some work in these early stages. 5 drones going down. The Zergling going to get grabbed as well. The Hellions escaping back up the right-hand side and back towards the middle. As the lair comes through, the couple of Lings and drones all building up. And the Banshee gets around the south. Is going to be making its way into the mineral lines fairly shortly. Obviously get to the bottom side here. A couple of different mineral lines we can kind of attach ourselves to. Banshee gets a couple more drones. A bit more damage still being dealt. Just going to be having a Banshee going to get picked off there. But Banshee will go down as the Stimpak's halfway done. A couple of barracks coming over. Spire coming through. And a couple of drones coming about as well. In the main base, the Banshee is going to show up. A couple of Queens are going to be there as well. And we have ourselves a barrack still building. From Oliveira at the moment, so the barrack's still coming up. The Queens are coming through. The Crypt Gym is coming online as well. Got a lot of this settled in, as we do have the Queen still pushing out that right side. The Banshee pulling back around a little bit as well. Queen's fire, Banshee taking damage. You've seen the Banshee coming back around again. A couple of Widow Mines, 1-1 upgrades, continue to come around as well. We'll have ourselves 9 mutas on the way up. I mentioned earlier the idea of Shin playing some Mutalisks and, you know, talked about it on Dynasty. But said, yeah, maybe not on Dynasty actually because of the need for roaches and so on, but I see some mutas here. He is a player that likes to play that Lingbane muta style and just trying to, you know, make things a little bit crazy and so on. Well, a couple of changelings are going to move up. Hellions and Marines there. Obviously knock those couple of changelings down if we do so wish. The mutas on the left-hand side are going to fly up, get an SCV. The command center taking a shot as well. A couple of overlords still coming in. Just continue to come about. We just continue to jump onto these Marines. We're going to get a few more Marines getting picked away out here. A couple of SCVs going down so far. Up around the top. A couple of depots going to take damage. Missile turret shots firing. We are going to see the starport getting jumped on. And we're going to see our Tech Lab here is going to be taking some shots as well. Tech Lab about to go down. Combat shields does not get denied. The repair was good enough. My goodness, the Muta has put a bunch of volleys on that, but not getting it. A little bit of a shame. Queens, Lings continuing up again. Melee upgrades, Mutalisks continue to come through as well, so we get all of that on the go. Still got ourselves the Overlord speed coming up, +1 flyer attack upgrade coming in. Just trying to come back around as Lingbane continues over. Just going to get a little cancel on the left side. And they have a Refiner in the SCV there going down as well. So a couple of SCVs killed off. 2-2 upgrades coming about. Combat shield about to finish. Concussive shells building. Shin on the 98 drone economy has to be so active with these mutas all of the time. Otherwise, he's just going to get attacked. And if he starts getting attacked, he's not going to have the army to kind of deal with this. He wants to create chaos. He wants to create action around the map. Oliveira expanding down the left side is amazing for him, I think, because while it does leave this top side entrance to the natural a bit exposed, it means that he's pushing towards the bases of Shin, and it forces Shin to play very defensive on the left side, because otherwise, Oliveira is just going to be pushing right up into his base and forcing fights against Mutalisk is obviously absolutely beautiful. A lot of the time, that's what you're looking for. As a few Banes went up there, crashed through the depots. Actually going to wait a couple of moments before we go again, but the new depots get made, and now it's time to back away. Not sure what the idea of the delay was there, as we're going to kill off a couple new depots and a couple more acts that was there. Going to re-roll, though. I mean, Oliveira is in position that this is not going to become a problem. Not just yet, at least. Mutalisk's going to try and find the command center on the left side. SCV gets taken down. 2-2 upgrades still coming about. Infestation Pit coming online as well. Continuing over, I'm just going to be seeing the medevac still coming. Missile turrets are going to shoot at the Mutalisks as well. Marines is going to step up, a couple creep humans going down as well. Try and get through there. We are going to be having a missile turret getting grabbed. Widowmine gets taken out as well. This is where the mutas can do great, but of course, you've got to be able to deal with this Terran army, which is pressing onto creep spread right now. So Oliveira wasting no time at all to get aggressive over here. Ling Bane going to start running through a couple Widowmines, lining up shots, but not going to connect. Force firing away. The shots coming out. The Overseer still taking damage. The other Banelings about to finish up. We'll figure out what they would like to do as we're going to start stepping in towards this. Halberts, Lings, Banes all interacting here as the Banes crash forward. We're going to see the Thor going to be in some big trouble here as well. It's going to go down. Now the Marines and Marauders going to get jumped on too as the Ling Muta continues to push up. That is going to be a good, well, great pushback here from Shin. So he does what he needs to, wins this fight. He is left over against mostly Marauders, means they can chase a little bit as well until new Marines show up. Those new Marines at least able to push those Mutas away and dislodge this continued momentum from Shin. Shin has the top right of the map coming online, and that is just, I guess, in a way because of the way that Oliveira is expanding. Oliveira is also, though, taking, I mean, so much of the left side of the map that is not necessarily meant to be his, like this base here. Obviously, you get set up on that. That's the base next to the main of the Zerg. I mean, I love the idea of it. If we can get, like, a good stack defense, turtly position set up in this location, it's going to be a pain in the butt for Shin to deal with. The question really stands as, can we get that set up properly and effectively? That I don't know just yet. Oh, Ling Bane actually going to catch an army here. Not really pre-split or anything, but the Banes struggle to find connections, and so Shin turns away. The Mutas are back up on the other side of the map in a mineral line once again. Oh, sorry, they're not Mutas. That's actually just a few of the Lings. Sorry, I thought it was the Mutas that were diving back there. Only 2 SCVs going down. The Lings pull away to try and buy a little bit more time. There's not much they can really do, as those units will fall. The Bio's still trying to step forward. The drone's trying to open up space here so they can actually, have access towards this base on the ground more easily. That's obviously not happening. Now, actually, the Bio is just going to be pushing through this position. More Lings on the counterattack. As they run through, it's Widowmines that are playing the majority of the cleanups. I don't think that's going to do too much. You run in here as Shin, but that's a horrible choke point to end up running through. He is going to get through there now, so let's see what he can find. Planetary to the left is probably something we don't want to focus on. Another couple Lings over here going to go for a missile turret. Widowmine's going to soften up the Mutas as they try and run in. Oliveira is making a hold here against Shin's army. 4 additional Ultras on the way up as Shin does improve his army composition to have those Ultras included. So that'll be a pretty major plus on top of everything else. A few more Banes popping out in a few moments' time. The Bio and Thor still trying to step forward. There we go. Ling Bane going to move up. The Mutalisk is going to fly overhead. Widowmines. Yeah, going to get some decent damage done. I think Oliveira's army is looking very good here. The fact it's not being cleaned up still I mean, the Baneling's having to go off and taking a long time. The Muta's getting involved on the Thors, which are not dying because of some medevac micro, and it's allowing you to stick around long enough to see reinforcements show up. All the Mutalisks get annihilated here. I mean, the Ultras have just shown up. Are they going to be good enough to turn this around? We do not have Ghosts in this game. It's been a little bit too hectic to get there. Oh my god, look at those Thors dropping on that low ground. What a beautiful place for those to sit and just deal some damage. My goodness, they can get some work done there as the Bio steps forwards. 4 gets dropped up to the high ground here. 7 Overseers continuing to produce. Ling's just going to go after these rocks. Command center building up in the front as well. And Fester's Lings continue to come around. Ling's just going to continue to run in. Just going to jump onto the rest of these SCVs. Just going to wrap around. Marauder going down. The rest of the Bio showing up there as well. The Lings will continue to get cleaned up. We got some CVs though, and obviously this is also forcing Oliveira to turn around and pay some attention at home, which gives Shin some much needed time to reestablish any creep spread and just reestablish an army. And Fast is going to be a big addition to this. 21 SCVs going down. This actually did way more damage than expected, and we're still going. 27 SCVs killed. 28 of those Lings in the main take a while to go down to the Ghost. Bane Ultra showing up over here. The wall of SCV is going to get busted by the Banelings. The Bane's going to decide to turn towards the Bio army. I don't love that. I would have rather they just turned towards the Planetary and try to finish that off. 41 SCVs have died though. And Oliveira takes a massive hit to economy, but has a 50 army supply lead, pushing down and into the left side of the map. And it does look as though he's going to get across here and be able to do some very good things. This is just a very strong army, and you're in the natural of your opponent. Access to the main base basically provided freely because you own your opponent's natural ramp. The expansion positioning of Oliveira is paid off in this game, absolutely. Widowmine's going off on those Lings. Some of the Bio decides to start pulling back. The rest of it still sitting here on the natural, killing units as they spawn. A couple Queens dropping transfusions to save the hatchery. I'm going to lose a command center because this game is chaotic. There's so much going on. Oliveira down to 32, 33 SCVs, but he has still the 50 army supply lead. The Baneling nest is going to fall as well, as here we go. Ling, Bane, Infestor, Ultra Surge. We actually drop an EMP. There must only been 1 or 2 ghosts here, but we do EMP down the Infestors. These ghosts need to snipe down these Ultras. We're going to get some of the snipes off, but now the ghosts get caught. Medivacs will save them. Evacuation made. Still a 40 army supply lead here from Oliveira. I think actually still 50, honestly, as he is taking damage on the counterattacks, but he's still got too much on this other side. No Banelings can be made, no splash damage added, a couple Infestors on the way, but that will not be enough to stop the push of Oliveira coming through. Infestation Pit killed. Hive gonna be in trouble next. This entire army has just been unstoppable, and Oliveira is going to get himself, I think, game 1. As the Hive goes down, the tech in this main base is really the tech that you kind of need to keep on having a chance, because as this Ultra Cavern falls, the only things you can make are Infestors and Lings. Just do not ever see that being good enough. Production is having to retreat away. Oliveira is in a hefty supply block, actually. Just to try and let you know what Shin is maybe playing for at the moment. Scans the right-hand side, sees that base. There's the base top right as well. I mean, there's a lot of bases from Shin. Oliveira has progress to make. Like I say, the biggest thing he's done is shut down the production structures. So stuff like Ultras, it can't be made anymore. I mean, at this point, we've lost the spawning pool, so Lings can't be made. A couple of fungal growths on landing, but we're just going to be able to take down units so quickly. 35 army supply remains from Shin. It's still a 50 army supply lead from Oliveira as he presses through. The next hatchery already in trouble. There's one Infestor with fungal energy left. It's going to drop a fungal as the Widow Mines will go off. Some splash damage being done. We are going to see some of Oliveira's units dropping low, but as the Ultras, the final Ultras of the game show up, it's just not good enough still. We continue to push forward as Oliveira will go base after base. There's 6 army supply on the map from Shin. He has money to spend, but no way to spend any of it. GG, I mean, the pool just finished, but what are you going to do? Spam Lings into a Bioforce that will just kill them? GG's, and Shin is going to get it... Sorry, Oliveira is going to get it done with that consistent, never-ending push. GG's for game number 1. Woo, what a game. Alright, game 2 coming up in a couple of moments. We will be heading into Alcyone for our second map. Well, that gets us excited, because that's actually a pretty big map against these guys that just gave us a pretty great first game. Get that up and ready to roll. Down with that bank is tough. Yeah, probably could have started to rebuild production structures sooner, but the problem was when he was actually first starting to die in his main base, he didn't actually have that much spare money. So it's like, did he spend on production structures? Because I think the theory is if you lose the main, you're probably going to lose anyways. And he's like, well, I could rebuild production structures already, but if I do that, I probably die because I need every single unit possible to just try and push back and to try and hold him off. And so I think it's like well, Shin, you should have done this, but at Shin's mind, he's probably thinking, I've just got to send every unit I can forwards, and if I can't succeed sending every unit forwards, then that's it, okay, GG's. And so I think that checkmate was kind of one that he accepted was going to happen, and in the end it did. Because he just had to send units at that army. He had to find a way to clean it up. He needed anything he could get. In the end, it just wasn't good enough. That really fun expansion pattern of Oliveira down that left-hand side, pushing towards the Zerg bases, helping so much as well. Shin engaging into the planetary there, getting a bit worried about it a couple of times, was obviously a big issue too. That was, you know, a fight that didn't go well for him and initiated the continued push back then from Oliveira. You win a fight so close to the Zerg base, they're going to be in trouble, and they absolutely were. As we head into game number 2, Oliveira is going to be leading this 1-0, which means that in the bottom, or in the top right, sorry, down a game, it is going to be a red Zerg Shin. Bottom left, our blue Terran is Oliveira. Game number 2 of this best of 3, and if he wins this, he's first place in this group, straight into that round of 8 with a little bit of a better seed as well. And it would be a fight straight up between Shin and Hero in the last match of the day to decide who advances to the round of 8 along with Oliveira out of this group. Bottom left, blue Terran, Oliveira. He's up a game and excited to see what he does on the map of Alcini. Such a fun, aggressive style from him. It might not have been the most like drop everywhere sort of aggression, but it was like the, hey, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with on the map, step up, stand on the map and be a big deal. And he really did that, establishing control down that left with base after base and putting himself in a great spot there as we get into now this game number 2. Max finishing match gas pool at home. No early pool fuelings across the map this time around like we saw last game from Shin, so nothing like that going on. SCV is going to come across. Control on this base for a couple of moments. The drone pulls over towards the third base here. And yeah, obviously just can't take this base because the SCV is blocking it, but kind of an interesting one to block because I feel like the Zerg doesn't... I guess sometimes the Zerg likes taking that as a third and then you mine through the minerals to take the fourth on the right side rather than taking... Yeah, I actually guess... For some reason, I look at this, I'm like, I feel like the triangle isn't normal, but triangles maybe aren't normal on most maps, but on this map, because you can take the minerals out and then expand to the right for the fourth and forward for the gold, I guess that is kind of the more typical expansion pattern. So you stop that from happening with the SCV patrolling, and the Reaper here just going to poke around. Cryptomate goes down, should be able to protect that with the Queen and the Lings already. Factory coming up. We're trying to move about. Queen gonna be there. No grenade going down. We're gonna fight. Just gonna force cancel on the spore. Nothing too crazy just yet as we continue through for a couple of moments. The Reaper is just going to move about. Banshee and the Hellions continuing around also. Just going to be seen on Reaper. Going to get picked off. Ling's going to get there. A couple of Queens and the drones continue through. The cloaking on the way up with the Banshee. A couple of Hellions coming alongside with it as our orbital command continues to produce on in. A couple of SCVs coming up. The Hellions are coming in. And getting that cloaking on the way currently. The additional Overlords also producing. 14 Lings in production for Shin, so doesn't necessarily need a lot of Lings right now. I feel like he could have made a round of drones and then some Lings, but wants to have some activity on the map. Be ready against potential Hellions. Overlord just chilling, Banshee still up the left-hand side. I see that Ling still moving about. Just gonna jump onto the SCV here as well. Ling's gonna shoot the Ling, taking damage again. Drones and Evo chambers coming on up, gonna give us a chance to get some upgrades on the go as well. So get those upgrades rolling here. Prioritizing the upgrades early rather than like a faster lair, so it's gonna have good upgrades comparable to the Terrans. And then the lair will be a bit later, which means Bane speed a bit later, but obviously your Lings are upgraded well, so they can kind of trade and skirmish a little bit more easily throughout the early stages. Hellions just going to take some shots on the Queens. The Banshee's going to take some shots on the Creep, and we go back and forth a little bit still. We got some damage out into this hatchery, actually, which is going to be able to absorb a few shots from the Banshees currently. Banshees continue to go to work. It's going to go down. That's Squawkle unable to get there. It's going to force the cancel. Nice play from OLIVEIRA, slowing that down. That's going to be a big pain in the butt for the Zerg, who's just now going to be without a fourth base for that a little bit longer. Marines get here to protect those depots as well, turning that back around for the moment. Marines come back over. You can see a couple of Widow Mines coming through. The Lings are going to get down to the bottom. Widow Mines get burrowed. Single Zerglin already going down. The rest of the Lings back up in the center. Melee upgrades continuing about. Baneling speed coming through. Overlord speed as well. Banshee still shooting at a few of those Lings, so damage still being dealt. Again, the Drilling Claws is coming up. The Combat Children 1-1 is coming about. And a group of additional Banelings coming through on the side of Shin. So 11 extra Banes coming up right now. Continue to bring those into play. Are just going to go after the rocks. Marine's going to jump onto the Overlord, and Overlord gets killed. Obviously stepping onto creep here, and Shin tries to come forward to be defensive against it. First Widow Mine is split away from nicely. Good retargeting on that Widow Mine as we lift up. No splash will go to the Terran units, and we will get quite a few Lings, so decent trades from OLIVEIRA. Shin does continue to establish base number 5 into the top left-hand corner of the map already, so getting that ready. Again, not as much presence on the right side as you might typically like towards that gold base, but the top left feels kind of unreachable currently for the Terran. The problem for the Zerg taking top left is going to be if the Terran goes up and left with their 4th base, then it's quite an easy push from the 4th to the 5th. So that's going to be maybe when Shin feels a little bit of regret on that location. When he's gathering, Watchtower being taken. Hydra's Banes continue to move about. We have a infestation pit on the way to take us into Hive. We got an infestation pit coming up shortly. Lingbane Hydra gathering in. The medevac's going to load up the Marines and pull back. Marines loading back up. Widow Mine goes off, hits a Ling. The Widow Mine now getting grabbed as well. And 2-2 upgrades coming about. Libs coming up. Siege tank on the way in. Marines and Woodmines just going to step forward. A couple of cream tumors obviously could be picked off. The Banshee gets over to the top. Woodmines all setting up. Tank's going to siege. Woodmines setting forwards. A couple of creep tumors already going down, so we continue to step up into this right now. A little bit of Ling Bane taking damage. A few of those Banes going down. Here we go. Ling Bane Hydra going to run down this ramp. Siege tanks are going to try and fire away. Marine's going to get stuck in the corner a little bit. Oliveira has to lift up and evacuate with the medevacs. Loading to the low ground, but there's not really much support there, and Oliveira loses this fight. Set up on the Zerg side of the map and unable to capitalize. These Marines are not going to stop those rocks going down either, so they're not going to be safe on this side of the gold base. Chased down as well. And Shin opening up a supply lead as reinforcements from Oliveira actually get to the middle. Still pushing is interesting. I mean, I feel like that was a significant loss for him. Hydra continues to come running through. This way, Oliveira will have to take a step back again. Probably has to play quite defensively here. There's still a lot of Zerg. Shin is only Ling Bane Hydra, so it's okay to kind of let this army kind of put a little bit of work in and just let the game go on because he's not as teched up. It's not like Lurkers are about to morph in. Decent fight to begin with on the top side from Oliveira, but he has not enough units, I think, is just what it comes down to. We do break through the bottom side. The SCVs get to return to mines. The Lings will be chased by the Marines. However, that orbital has taken a lot of shots. Got to lift that up. Hydra's got the finishing blow. That might just be game over, actually. Shin winning that fight across the map really set this set of events into motion. He talks down Olivera, loses quite a few Hydras for it. I think Oliveira, if he'd saved that base, I wouldn't hate this for him, because I feel like if he saves this base, then he's actually still mining pretty comfortably. And he just killed a lot of units, but losing the orbital command, a base missing for you right now is so brutal. Hydra just going to open up the rocks. Once he opened up the map, Shin rebuilding up. He obviously had a pretty mental economy throughout this. There's the tech now coming online as well, by the way, as we have Hive up. So now +3 carapace, look, then Nidus Network. Shin just doing the things, which is obviously going to let him establish position into the later stages of this game. Oliveira does re-establish an orbital onto that third location, but obviously that does slow him down from potentially taking a 5th base as well. Oliveira's going to siege. Bayun stepping up. We will see potentially a scan coming down to knock down some creep tumors. We are going to be seeing our Bioforce, and it's going to sit there. Ling Bane going to move forward. Hydra's ready to shoot. Queen getting chased away a little bit as well. A couple of Banes getting pushed backward. Queen's going to run their way into this mineral line, and SCVs are just going to get grabbed. Obviously, with the depots going down there earlier, that wall is lost, and that position becomes very vulnerable. It's a lot of Terran units on the map. Shin just needs a big cleanup, and he's going to try and come for it now as he runs down here. A couple Widowmine shots are very good, though, and that's Shin losing some army supply, down 20. Is this just a waiting game for Shin? Is this just a let's hold the hell on until I get the Lurkers out? Or is there something more he can do? I mean, Lurkers are on the way already. Seismic Spines is just missing. So we're missing the range upgrade. Oliveira, again, lost a lot of SCVs throughout this. A few more units going to try and chase those Lingers down. Great job by Shin just buying any time that he can. And the Nidus in the main base is not something that Oliveira is really set up to deal with right now. As the Banelings, though, crash into siege tanks. That doesn't exactly help you get rid of this Bioforce. However, the Lurkers are now in position. Nidus goes up in the main. The third base under fire from the Zerglings. Oliveira still trying to press forward here as the couple of Lurker shots will come and zone out the Bio. There's a couple of Lurkers in the main. Nothing overly effective just yet as we actually run to the top left. Going to find a bunch of drones there. And so Shin is going to take some economic damage of his own. The Lurkers are trying to chase into this army, but Lurkers don't exactly chase down armies very well, especially when there's not that much support for them. So if you go too far forward, we're going to be able to turn onto this. 3 Lurkers go down immediately. Oliveira, did he stick around a moment too long there? He's super low HP. He's overly stimmed on that force. And he's going to try and get this hatchery and probably just evacuate, but he's actually super low on medevac count as well. 1 medevac remains. He'll turn onto those Zerglings. Last medevac falls. He's now just going to try and run. But yeah, he's going to lose absolutely everything in the end. It looks as though Shin is going to be good to take game 2 and to tie this series 1-1. The Marine's still firing away. The Queen going to go down as well. Lurker will get picked off. Ooh, what a game. And what a series. It's been a fantastic TVZ. Remember, Hero still plays Shin after this as well. That's still to come. As our Zerglings of Shin go retreating back up to the top side. Wooderline is going to grab a few more lings as well. Ling Hydra still moving about. The Liberator moving over. Hydras will come into the main base. Medevac and the Lib coming over. Tank and the Marines are going to shoot. Hydras just gets picked off. Again, our Zergling's going to get grabbed. Hydra's going to step up. Feeling's going down. Hydra Lurker is going to be getting jumped on as well. We continue to move up here. We are going to see ourselves a good spread from Oliveira. I mean, he's putting up some good fights, but at the end of the day, there's also a group of Lurkers on the left side, and there's absolutely not a way he continues to fight this forever. Shin going to tie us up 1-1. We are going to go the distance here in this best of 3. Going to have a full set of games going in on this one. Hello, Ellie. Hi. Going to assume you're not here excitedly to see me, but instead to try and play ball. Yeah, you want to play ball. I can't play ball. I am working. Yes. Unfortunately, I cannot play ball. I can throw this ball for you one time. How about that? Let me get the game hosted, baby. When you get the game hosted, we'll throw the ball one time. You ready? Ready? 1, 2. Good job. Great job. Great. I don't know what actually happened, but then it was a great job. Side Delta for our final map of this series, guys. So we get Side Delta on the way. Get this set up. And for one to accept the invite. Oliveira. Alright, game number 3, guys. We are moments away from it. This has been a great series. Shin and Oliveira giving us some games. Again, Oliveira wins this. Guaranteed first place in the group. Shin wins this. And he is in a great position to advance. But it would still come down to what happens against Hero. What league is Ellie in? Depends what at. In StarCraft 2, probably not very high. Doesn't have the attention span, but playing ball? Probably like Master League. You know, she drops it sometimes. She doesn't always give it back. Pretty solid playing ball. Not quite a GM, but she ain't no Diamond League, you know. Lambo's dogs are GM with Protoss. Yeah, well, they have Lambo training them, you know. Definitely helps. Alright, let's hop in game. Let's get this going. As we have in the bottom right hand side, our red Zerg player. This is Shin. And in the top left, our blue Terran is going to be Oliveira. Game through the series. And we figure out who is going to take this win. I'm trying to think if Shin wins this, Hero should not be eliminated because Hero should still be able to beat Shin. I wonder if Hero would be eliminated if Shin wins this and... Not sure. We'll let the result kind of come through and I mean, okay, I guess we could probably do the mouth on that one. So if Shin wins this, he'd be 2-1. Oh, he'd be 2-0 on a +3 map score. Hero is on a 0 map score. But yeah, if Hero wins 2-1 against Shin, that wouldn't be good enough. Hero would have to win 2-0, I think, because Hero would be 0 map score, +1 to +2. Yeah, Hero would have to win 2-0 against Shin, I think, to advance. Map's more important than head-to-head. If it comes down to 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, then yes. Right? Because it's not a head-to-head between... It's not a head-to-head between Hero and Shin. It's a head-to-head between Oliveira, Hero, and Shin if it's 2-1. So yeah, that's the problem. If Shin wins this, then Oliveira is also 2-1. Now Oliveira will get through on the tiebreakers no matter what, but you can't just exclude Oliveira from the tiebreakers, right? Feeling is going to start moving out onto the map. Get this game 3 underway. Obviously, big for Shin then, because it kind of means that if you win this, you just need a map against Hero that seems very doable. Seems very doable. Feeling is continuing up to the top left-hand side. Marine's going to retreat away. As you do pull one link down to go after the SCV. Misclicks that. Quite a few SCVs pull. As with 2 Marines, going to be kind of okay here, right? This was obviously Marines and not a Reaper. Yeah, we're going to be safe. It's a lot of SCV lost 9 time. We lose 1 SCV there in the end, but that should be good with 2 Marines still fairly healthy. Those lings are hurting. That should just be the end of this for now, and that is going to be Oliveira able to push back this first little bit of pressure from Shin. So push that back, chase that away. Overlord still hanging out on the high ground. Barracks continues to move through as well. Overlord will fall. A couple Hellions still popping out. Starport on the way in. Man building up as well. So all of that just continues through for the moment. And the Hellions head down to the bottom right hand side. For now. Just gonna bring that straight across. And he's gonna nibble. Hatchery taking damage. Queen's link speed all being brought up as well, so we get that on the go. He's getting some shots off, a couple of lings taking some hits. Queen's gonna fire him. 1 queen hitting the Hellion. Links be coming in. Drones. Your teammate is coming about. Oliveira finds some success with this Hellion Banshee as it just come around the right side. Lings gathering up, a couple of drones coming through as well. Spellcrawler moves around. Still gathering up. Stim back in the barracks continue to come the way. And we'll just have ourselves the extra racks continue to come through. Stim coming up, getting ready to rumble. Queen's coming through. Banshee's gonna get chased around a little bit. Let's see, a few drones already going down. 4 or 5 workers being killed off immediately here. So some good damage dealt. 1-1 upgrades and the stim pack continue to come through as well. And ourselves the Banshees escaping back out over that right-hand side. 8 drones is really nice, but there is a counterattack, and those Lings are going to get into the mineral line. However, we get a Mule, and that's about it. The Hellions are holding on nicely. A few Marines coming to help. Good positioning on those Hellions. It's going to save so many SCVs. And Shin losing 8 drones is going to put him into a little bit of a tough spot. Armor coming up again. 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield coming through. And the melee upgrades coming about. And a couple of Widow Mines. Medivacs coming over. Marines coming through. A couple of Hellions as well. Marine's gonna fight. What am I gonna burrow? Ling's gonna run across. Just gonna be seeing those Marines gonna continue to pull back. Just gonna load back up. Medevac still up that right hand side. Just gonna be having ourselves the pull back for the moment. A little bit of fire pushing down the right. Oliveira trying to capitalize on some of the damage he's done early, looking to try and get rid of this base. Widow Mine's not going to be his best friend there. He lifts up pretty reasonably. He's got 1 Widow Mine left. And the Banshee on the left bottom side going to get turned around as well. Marines coming over. A couple of Banes going to get some shots. He's going to load back into the Medivacs and peel away once again. Still having ourselves the 2-2 upgrades plus 1 vehicle plating. Dueling Claws coming through. Medivacs, Marines, and Widow Mines. Still in that production tab. But Shin does take a step up on supply. Looking good in terms of economy. Obviously, Oliveira needs to keep that 4th base building. And if he gets that 4th base set up, that's going to take us into the next step. As a bit of Ling Hydra comes forward as well. Step up, couple quick teams going through. The Ling's going to come in from either side. Those Marines are going to get grabbed, and that's a bunch of Marines actually going down. The Medivacs load up and escape away. The Ling's are going to get there to knock down the rocks as well, taking that down for the moment. Two upgrades plus 1 vehicle plating coming up. Let's have ourselves the Widow Mines and Marines continue to come about as well. Still stepping around here. Marines going to step in. Banelight's going off. Widow Mine shot going to fire over also. Marines going to unload back through. All the various supplies sitting about 160 to the 194 currently. Marines unload in the corner. Widow Mine going to fire. A couple of Lings going to get shot down already. Our Lings, our 5, continue to come about. Medivacs escape up that right side. A few more Banes going to morph in. Widow Mines are going to get lifted back into the Medivac as well. And we have ourselves the Medivac's going to escape to the top corner. Yo, Nani EL, thank you by the way for the 6-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for Prime subbing up today. As our Hydras are going to catch at least 1 full Medivac. The second Medivac half full just scoots on out of there. Widow Mine's going to get set up. The drones are going to get caught. Wow, 7 drones actually go down to that as these Medivacs also with Marines inside figuring out where they want to end up. 5 on the way for Shin. The extra Lings and the drones still producing on by. Bunch of Banelings going to start morphing in as well. Going to start heading out. Bane Hydra coming through. A couple of Widow Mines going to try and line up. Actually going to get a good little connection there initially. And those Banes still trying to roll on forwards. Baneling's going to roll towards the bio. Actually going to get rid of so many of those Banes. Decent fight starting off from Oliveira. A lot of Shin supply is reproducing supply, but I think he might still have just enough here to keep on chasing Oliveira down. Oliveira's reinforcements are not coming through soon enough just yet. The rest of these SCVs are going to come peeling away. The Ling's going to get back over, picking over a Marauder. These couple of Hydras will go down as well. Oliveira still trying to push back this back, but it looks like Shin has just had enough power to wrestle him to the ground. Planter on the left side looks safe as we continue to kite away here. Again, efficiency trying to be found. Let the Marauder try and tank some of those Banelings. Now we split. So many Lings coming across the map, though. And Hydra's going to get that. Factory gets taken out. The Marine Marauder Liberator continues through. So many Lings up to the top side of the map as well. Concussive Shells is being brought in also. Going to turn back around. Widowmine shoots. A few Lings go down. Bio going to come back across also now. 3-3 upgrades. Hydra Lings on the way in. And the Bio is just going to jump through for a couple of those Hydralisks. Oliveira survives. Obviously, Shin just going to take the opportunity of creating this lead. He puts the Lurker Den down, gets his own 3-3 started. No shame in any of that. Oliveira, as he relands the third, is still on 63 SCVs, which honestly ain't really that bad. It's just he lost a lot of army. He's lost a lot of momentum on the map. Those are the things he's going to have to look towards here to kind of really step up. And Shin's also banking money because he's ready to make Lurkers soon. Shin's going to probably find the 6th base on the far right-hand side. That group of units on the far right is getting close to it, and there's not really anything to stop. Well, actually, Lingbane Hydra shows up, but we're going to burrow a Widowmine. We're going to step back. Yeah, Shin gets there just about in time to actually save that base from going down, so that is going to be a nice save as the Medivacs lift off and back away. 3-3, Seismic Spines coming up, 4 more Lurkers, and the Nidus Network still building. Do you have our Lings going to step up as well? Planetary Fortress going to get fully surrounded. The Marauders get that too. Going to chase those Lings out of here. Again, 3-3 coming up. Seismic Spines coming into play. Nidus Network about halfway done with Ling Lurker coming up as well for now. We'll try and get this hatchery, so we actually do show it back over here. The only Lings in the front, that's going to go down. We're going to max out as Oliveira, but the question is, are you maxing out on a good enough army? Because Ghost Academy is only just now built, and the first couple of libs are just setting up. You might just be in trouble because Shin has got a better army. He's got 36 Banelings morphing in. That's going to be a pushback, so that works. Nice in the main base, gets denied. Liberators onto the Overseer as well. We're going to have to defend that left side as well from all of those Banelings, however. Remember, Lurker Den is up, Seismic Spine is done, but my 8 Lurkers, where are they going to show up as well? Also a question. No tanks in play because we're playing the Widow Mines right now. Another Nidus Network in the back. We get jumped onto that straight away. Bio coming over. The Banes are going to continue to roll through. A couple of Widow Mine shots going off initially. Bio will kite backwards here as the Banes are going to crush through that Planetary Fortress. So a lot of army supply of Shin used on this base. Oliveira, I feel like, is immediately just saying, you know what then, let's go. Let's go across the map and fight. He stepped out in front of his previous fourth immediately once that base went down, so he just wants to go and say, you do not have a way to defend me, but I think he does. 8 Lurkers are going to be the defense here. So I think we're actually incorrect, Oliveira, in stepping forwards. I think he needs to, well, I mean, maybe it's not a bad thing to try and get something done, but if he felt as though this was going to be a fairly comfortable push across the map, he's definitely incorrect. A couple Queens going down as the Liberators put some initial work in. Oliveira tries to spread, but this is also going to be on creep, so that's going to help you a lot here as the Zerg. When this fight really gets to it. Spore Crawler is just out of reach of those Liberators. The Liberators need a scan, and they will be able to start picking up some of these Lurkers. Wingbane Hydra should be good to go in a moment. Couple snipes coming down. Liberators are going to be the issue. 7 drones, 8 drones dying. Nidus on the other side of the map. SCVs are not going to be good enough to defend against that. Unless nothing pops out of it, then SCVs will be okay. We're going to give up this position as Shin. He is not comfortable fighting into the Liberators. Liberator stepping forward again as Lings look to shut down reinforcements. Cancels the new Lurkers. Base going down. Shin in trouble as the Liberator count is not being answered at all. Planetary cancelled as Oliveira gets forced to be even more all in on this push. He's going to find the Baneling Nest here. He's going to step forward. He's going to have the Nidus next. I mean, he can start separating the bases and the reinforcements between bases. Surely Oliveira has some units at home. Popping out shortly. Oh, okay. Lovely to see the Vipers showing up because then the Liberators start to go down. The Liberators have been the big issue for Shin. Oliveira, what do we do? He's going to have to unsiege those libs and just try and run for it. But yeah, he's going to lose a lot of libs in the process, and that was the one thing that really made this army terrifying for Shin and why he was refusing to go and fight. So yeah, losing a bunch of those libs. It's not like Oliveira is rich enough to replace those liberators, and that's why it was so good that Shin was running Lings around on the other side as well. Did not let that fourth base get reestablished. Did not let the third base mine all the time during this. Those are actually big key moments during this, because now Shin is mining so much more than Oliveira. I don't think this is an issue in the end. Yes, Oliveira gets a couple bases, and it got a little bit scary for a while, but things should settle back down. As the Overseer sets up on that far corner. A couple of ghosts coming across Overseer. Maybe gonna get shut down. Overseer still chilling. The Nidus comes in. The Lurkers are gonna pop and go after a couple of units in the main. So the Nidus died, but the Lurkers got out, which is obviously rough. And it looks as though Shin is gonna put himself in great position in this group. Oliveira losing here. I think again we mentioned Oliveira cannot be eliminated from this group. For him, it's a difference of first or second place. It's going to still come down to Hero versus Shin, though, and the scoreline there, because Q got 2-0'd by everybody, the maps between these other three players of the group become extremely important, and that is what it's going to come down to, as Shin and Hero going to be the final series. And like I say, it's basically a case of Hero must 2-0 Shin. The reason for that is because Hero lost 2-0 to Oliveira, but Shin... Well, yeah, Hero lost 2-0 to Oliveira, so Shin must have a 2-0 loss himself if he doesn't make it through, because Shin obviously hasn't lost to anyone, but one of his wins is against Oliveira, dropping the map on the way, so that's the difference. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, is, like I say, Oliveira can't not advance because he's +3 map score, so it's Hero Shin, and Hero basically must 2-0 if he is to come through here and advance out of this group. So that's going to be what it comes down to as we get this ZVP ready to go. Great TVZ series there, and we'll get this set up, and we'll kick off into our final match of the day, Hero versus Shin, up next, straight after this quick little break, BRB. Welcome back, guys. Going into Alcyone for our first match of our final series. Hero has to 2-0. Hero does not 2-0. He does not advance out of this group. Currently at 2 Terrans, 2 Protoss, and 1 Zerg in the playoffs. If Shin advances, that would be 2 Zergs. If Hero advances, it would be 1 Zerg and 3 Protoss. I feel like this is a win-win. We either get an extra Zerg in the playoffs, or we have a great player in the form of Hero. So, can't really lose on that one. As we go into our final best of 3 of the day. In the top right, our blue Zerg is Shin. Bottom left, our red Protoss, Hero. Just to mention as well, after this we actually have another little bit of sponsored content today, guys. We'll be doing that on the Twitch channel after. It is in the form of a Twitch bounty, which means that if you guys want to support the stream for free, continuing to watch the stream when the StarCraft ends today literally creates money for StarCraft 2 tournaments, just by keeping the stream turned on. The Twitch bounties pay you out based on viewership, so consider sticking around, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes when the stream ends, or when the StarCraft ends. Helps out a bunch. Appreciate it if you do. Thanks for considering it. As we get into game 1 of this best of 3 PvZ. Switch into Protoss versus Zerg mode. We've had Terrans all day long. Let's see what we get into on this one. Is kind of, I don't know what to expect, honestly. Shin, Hero. Players who I feel like have a decent history. I mean, Hero to me should generally be favored, but Shin plays well enough lately that I think Hero getting a 2-0 is actually quite difficult for him. Let me see what their match history is. Last few times they played. Okay, Hero dominates Shin. Holy! Shin has not won a series since against Hero since they played off race in the WardiTV 2023 Series Open May quarterfinals. The last time Shin beat Hero ZVP was in the Alpha X Pro Series in March of 2023. Wow. It's been a year and a half since Shin beat Hero in a PvZ series. Now, that said, and that's a lot of series as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 matches in a row. Heroes won PvZ against Shin. So, that's hugely one-sided. But the last time they played, 30th of September, Shin did take a map. And all Shin has to do today is take a map to knock Hero out. Hero needs a 2-0. Shin needs a map. Let the drama commence. Coupling's gonna go chasing the probe. Let's just have our probe getting chased away. Is that individual matches or best of 3s? That's best of 3 plus. Best of 3 plus. I mean, there wasn't any best of 1s in there. Maybe there was. The actual matches, yes. 20 series in a row. That's kind of a dominant. Like I say, the last time Shin won, they were playing off race. I remember that actually. They decided to play off race in the round of 8 during one of our open events last year. That's crazy to think back on. Queen gonna be there, and Deb gets turned around. A couple of Debs continue to shade up. Link speed's about to finish. Oracle is on the way with the warp gate building as well. Oracle just flies about. We will see the couple queens moving over. Drones continue to produce through Oracle. Gets a little kill on that right-hand side. A few lings moving about as well here. He's just going to jump onto the Nexus, and the Oracle going to get there. A few lings. It's going to get pushed away also. The Adept going to get grabbed. Oracles gather up. Third Oracle building. Hero looking to, create some map control with this Oracle play for the first little while of this. So a few Oracles going to scatter across the map. Twilight Counts in the Forge continue to come up as well. Now, Ling's going to get a little grab on that Adept initially. Queens are going to get on top of the Oracles too. Adepts will step up. We are going to be seeing the Lings moving back down to low ground. Adept trying to get around the back. Other Lings coming over. And we'll see one drone going down. The Oracle's going to get one queen. Going to go for a second. Absolutely should be able to get a second. Beautiful. Double queen going down. Very nice. As our melee upgrade comes about, the drones continue through. The Overlord's coming around. Gateway, probes, and the Adept coming over also as those couple of Adepts continue to chill out. Been caught by the Lings, but they do manage to shade away currently. Shade into the center. Just going to take the watchtower next couple of moments. We'll see a couple of creep teamers start to go down. One of them building in the front there goes down as well. Queen's going to fire. Oracle taking some damage. It's actually another hatchery guy killed by the Oracles. That does not happen every day. Oracle is going to kill a hatch right there. Again, the Ling's coming up, melee upgrade coming through. Blair is about to finish, the Extractor coming by. And again, +1 attack and Blink continuing to produce on the side of heroes. Again, the +1 Blink coming up. Gateway still producing. The Adepts are going to get jumped on by a group of Lings here. Adepts going to try and turn around and do what they can as the Lings get to the center, picking up for the moment. Again, +1 and Blink continues to come about. Just having ourselves the units moving through as well, and Bling's going to get turned around once more. Have ourselves the we've been continuing, just seeing ourselves couple moments. Gonna be having our Stalkers gonna fight. The Ling's gonna come running on through. Queens are gonna get over as well. Stalkers will continue to trade off with those Lings. Queens will get there. Stalkers being picked away at. And Stalkers gonna get back into a watchtower. Try and fight back a little further as well. And those Stalkers keep on trading. A few group tumors going down. +1 missiles, group spines, 8 more Banes, 7 Hydras. All of that being added on into production once again here as the Stalkers come back across. Get a little bit more damage done. All Stalkers will keep on trading. A few more Lings still going down. Damage still being dealt as we just have ourselves the Banes. Speed coming up, +1 missiles on the way. Group spines coming up as well, and it's the Stalkers looking to take advantage of this. The damage that Hero's already done in this game. Hydra's going to try and pull into this. Queen taking some shots. Couple Lings dropping. Hydra's going to get back over there. The Stalker's going to try and fight as this battery is going to get surrounded by Lings. Will go down. The Oracle coming across as well. The other couple Stalkers moving over. Yo, D-To, thank you so much for the Prime sub coming in during this as well. Thank you for supporting the stream and the tournaments. A lot of Lings still back over on that left-hand side. +1 missiles, bailing speed. The Muscular Augments continue to produce. Stalkers just blinking back there. The rest of the Lings coming back over, and still, this is the thing. The Stalkers just going to keep sticking around and just trading. About to get the Zealot charge, so that will give you a little bit more utility. As we actually lost an Oracle there, unfortunately. That means less Revelations available. But yeah, I mean, Banes are going to come online. I mean, we're still building Stalkers, though. How much do the Banes matter right now? Not too much. I wonder if we do add around the Zealots at some point, though. I mean, the Stalkers are trading great. The Oracles keep dying, however. Oh, the Banes are across the map. They're going to hit the mineral lines. Hero's going to lose a bunch of probes. 20 workers, 27 workers going down. Hero's committing on the other side, but it's not good enough. Shin is going to take game number 1 here, and Hero is going to be eliminated from the tournament just like that. It was looking so good for Hero, but he just not have any defense against the Ling Bane at home. And he decides to dive desperately when he sees the Ling Bane coming. It just does not work in his favor. Shin gonna get the map he needs to guarantee that he will advance from this group. How about that for a result? We'll see if he can win the series after, as we actually have had. I mean, OLIVEIRA broke the winning streak against Hero today as well. It's actually crazy. This group, Hero comes in with a 9-match winning streak against OLIVEIRA, loses. 20-match winning streak against Shin. Not gonna lose, but gonna be down a game. That's kind of wild. Some winning streaks being broken here today, potentially. To potentially eliminate Hero. He's warping in sentries. I mean, this is not an army anymore that can contest. That continued Stalker pressure can only go so far, and it's absolutely being stopped right now. Just going to see our Stalker's blinking back. Obviously, Pylon will go down. The Warp Gate is actually going to remain powered with the second Pylon, so that's not going to go down just yet. As the Lingbane being kind of manipulated a little bit by the sentries and the force fields, but it's just never going to be good enough. And that's going to be GG. Shin is going to take the first game. And as we've alluded to, that's good enough for Shin to advance out of this group. We still play the series, but for now, Shin is good enough to advance from the group like that. Because Hero lost a map here, and he can't possibly advance while having lost a map. And picking up the other... I mean, he just can't have good enough map score. Because he lost 2-0 to OLIVEIRA. Yeah. And OLIVEIRA took a map in his loss is the difference as well. Yeah. Okay, well, we will go into Game 2 on Oceanborn nonetheless. As I say, obviously we're not going to not play the rest of the series out, but for all intents and purposes, this one gets decided by Shin taking a map. Head into Game 2 here in just a second. Damn, good hero. Alright. Like I said, that's actually kind of good for the tournament because it's going to completely balance the amount of races we have in the round of 8 for now at least. So it's ready, GLHF gets gold. Pick this off in just a moment or two. Ready, says Shin. And we kick into Game 2 on Oceanborn right now here as we continue this WardiTV October round of 16 Group C. Tomorrow, guys, Group D, Trap, Clem, Solar, and Gumiho. We start the day off with Trap versus Gumiho, so we're starting off big tomorrow. Then Solar versus Trap, then Solar versus Gumiho. We're going to have the Clem matches all at the end. Clem Gumiho, Clem Trap, Clem Solar. Going to come in back to back to back. So you guys can look forward to that. Should be a good time. I hope you guys will be here for us tomorrow as we dive into game number 2. What could be our last map of StarCraft 2 today. If this man in the top left takes another game, it is Shin in the top left corner of the map. In the bottom right is going to be our blue Protoss hero. Like I say, Hero cannot catch Shin on map score, which kind of eliminates him from the head-to-head tiebreakers. Unfortunately, it's not possible with that first map loss. As the probe comes to the top left side, try and see a little bit of what's going on. So we scout a little bit over here. The drone moves over to the sides. So yeah, probe actually going to put out a little block on the extractor building there, which is quite cute. And build the pool there, and then the gas on the other side instead. Okay, so hatch, pool, and gas all coming up is the noteworthy part of this so far. As that drone comes back over and chases the probe again. If Hero wins the next 2, doesn't he win? Yes, he can still win the series. The problem is, if Hero wins the series 2-1, his map score will be +1 on the day. Whereas Shin's map score, the worst Shin's map score can be is +2, and OLIVEIRA's map score is +3. So even though Hero would be 2-1, the head-to-head tie, the tiebreaker is map score, because it would be a 3-way tie at 2-1. So the map score comes into play, and Hero can never have good enough map score to advance over Shin and OLIVEIRA. That is why Hero is eliminated from the tournament. He can still win the series. What are the advantages of scoring it that way? Well, it's a 3-way. It would be a 3-way tie, so you can't do it on head-to-head. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's a 3-way. It'd be a 3-way tie between Shin, OLIVEIRA, and Hero at 2-1. The next tiebreaker down from that naturally is map score. So yeah, it's just what makes sense. In fairness as well, when it's just 2 players outside, we do map score as well. The general idea is that, in my eyes, overall performance in the group, because everyone plays the same amount of matches and plays the same opponents, overall performance in the group is a better indicator than just a single match head-to-head. So, in general, we do that anyways, but in a 3-way tie situation, you can never do head-to-head. So, Unless, definitely not in a 4-player group. I mean, there is a weird way where you can actually have a 3-way tie, and one of the guys tied maybe beat both the players that he's tied with, but yeah. And anyways, in this case, it doesn't matter. Is there any incentive for Hero to try here? Honestly, not really. Unfortunately, it's one of the sad times where this tournament format is not ideal. That's one of the downsides of playing this live as well, is that all the players know the results, so he also will know, essentially, that he's out. If we play this kind of a little bit earlier and we play 2 matches at a time, we cast the replays, that's the benefit of the 5-player groups that we do, is that the players don't know if they're kind of out or not, because they don't know the results of the other matches. But, yeah, obviously this is the kind of downside of just trying to get 6 matches live. As the Adepts is going to get there, just going to pick off a Creep Tumor. Oracle going to stick around. And at the end of the day, these guys still do care a little bit about their reputation. They still take this as practice, right? At the end of the day, they're not looking at WardiTV October as the major prize money kind of provider for them. They're going to take this as still a good chance to practice a series, practice playing out a best of. You lost game 1. How do you play it? You know, what do I learn from that game 1? Can I apply, you know, anything there? As you see now, Adept's going to get a little bit of a catch, and a couple of those Lings start going down. Oracles escape out to the top side, and they will get a couple of drones so far. Going to come in for 3, 4, 5 drones. 1, 6, get 7. Yeah, very good damage, obviously, early, so Hero already putting some great damage in initially. For 4-player groups, it would make sense to have GSL format. Yeah, well, that's the issue, though. GSL format kind of sucks. Because GSL format, 5 best of 3s just isn't long enough. If we did 5 best of 3s a day, we would have been done like an hour ago. And also, a lot of the time in GSL format, you have a rematch, so you see the same matchup twice, so you only see 4 individual series. I don't really like doing GSL format. I mean, straight up 5 best of 3s isn't long enough to justify running a tournament as well. 5 best of 3s can very easily be like 2.5 hours long, and you just don't even get up to like proper viewership on a 2.5 hour stream, so kind of sucks. I honestly, this is a reason why we mostly do 5-player round-robin groups, because in 5-player round-robin groups, it's very rare that there's not something to play for. And like I say, we often do like 2 matches at a time as well, so we get more matches. The players don't know the scores, so they have incentive to try all the way through. Oracles die, that's kind of rough. But yeah, I just didn't want to do this as a 5-player. I just didn't want to do this as like a 5-player kind of group, and like I said, I didn't really want to do GSL formats, so... Well, that's probably the first time in like 3 years or something we've probably done like 4-player round robin. You know, sometimes it's okay to mix things up. Sometimes we get some pointless games, sometimes we get some tiebreakers, but hey, something different. I promise you there is logic behind the way that we run things. After running tournaments for 10 years, well, probably like 12 years, the way we run the events and the way they work is very well thought out. There is positives and negatives to do in each format, and usually those pluses and minuses are taken into account when we do pick the format for the tournament that we're running, you know. Anyways, forward gateway here. Hero going to get very aggressive with these Stalkers. A shame to lose a couple of Oracles, but he did some great damage with the Oracles already. He still has 1 Oracle up. We'll set a Stasis Ward up as well as he looks for the kill on the 4th base. Hero just going to try and send this as the Lings go around for the counterattack. So already Shin looking to go for the backstab and hit that economy and try and slow that down again. Stalker's still pressing up. The Lings are going to get there. Stalkers do have to blink back a little bit. The rest of those Lings continue to move through. On the other side, the Lings are going to get the cannon and now can focus on the probes. 2 probes begin to go down, so damage is successfully being done. Stalker step up again, another Queen taking some shots. The Hydra's going to start taking hits also. Lings going down. Back and forth continues. Another Hydralisk being picked off there. Continue to go, go, go. Just going to be the end of the Hydra. Make it 2. The few Queens and the Hydras and the Lings all gathering up. There's another group of Stalkers from Hero warping in and getting ready to go towards the upper left. There's that Oracle. Gets low. Queen's now taking some damage as well. Ling Roach still moving forward. Stalkers continue to blink back. Roach is going down. Going to grab ourselves a Queen. Another Roach being picked away at. Queen's still taking some fairly serious damage right now. The Lings and Roaches and Hydras keep on moving through. And Hero, supply-wise, is looking a lot better this time. But this is where we were at last time, and Shin did turn it around. Just need to keep these Hydras fighting in arc whenever possible. You need to put out whatever damage you can on these Stalkers. when you put these Stalkers low, you know, yes, Hero's blinking back to try and save them, but it is a case of if they get low, it is going to be more difficult to keep blinking them back in the future too, so there's always benefits to keeping that damage going. As the Hydra count is obviously dissipated here quite heavily, we are going to see some Roaches starting to join the fray. I'm not sure if they're ever going to be good enough, and they are not. Hero's going to take game 2. The Stalker pressure is going to be good enough, and we are going to get tied up 1-1. So we are going to go to a game 3 for all the Talker formats and it not mattering and all the rest. We're still going to end up going to a game 3 here. So game 3 coming up as we kick this off and get this underway. And we head into one final map for the day, which is going to be on Site Delta. So we'll get Site Delta hosted up and ready to start. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Shin, Hero. Perfect, let's go. Final game of the day, guys. Like I said, we've got a bit of sponsorship coming up after this as well. On the Twitch channel, on the YouTube channel, we will be done after this. But we'll be back tomorrow again. Group D looking great with Trap, Clem, Sola, and Gumiho. Should be a lot of fun. Alright, let's kick this off. In the bottom right-hand side of the map, we are going to have ourselves the blue Zerg player. This is Shin. Took that first game. That's all he needed to guarantee advancing. He loses the second. Hero fights back. Wants to keep that series win streak up against Shin. He's won 20 PvZ series in a row against him. And he ain't going to let up right now, okay? He ain't letting up right now. Let us tell you that much. Some of that comes in. Gateway coming up. We get a rolling. And a couple drones, the hatchery coming around, the assimilator and the gateway coming online. We got an overlord moving to the center from Shin. See, we're just going to play the oracles and into that stalker pressure again. Good question. Be interesting to see if that is the case or not. Has been pretty consistent about that so far, so we will see. Probably just nibbling, trying to be a little bit annoying for the first few moments. Nothing really too surprising about that just yet. First couple lanes on the way out. Shin does have his hatchery on location on the natural, so no third base location shenanigery to talk about there. You have our probes moving out from Hero from that base, heading to the top left. Stargate and the Warp Gate continuing to build as well, and the Adept about to finish from Heroes. Again, that Adept finished up, link speed continues in. Adept is going to take some shots. Have a depth shading about, trying to see what's going on. Just gonna have ourselves the queens out at the front as well. Do you have link speed finishing up shortly? A few drones on the way, a couple of lings, queens, whole building. The Void Ray going to be finishing up in a moment as the warp gate will set up to go. Void finishes, Oracle on the way, warp gate building, a couple of probes coming out. Void gets a little grab on the left-hand side. Shin will end up supply blocked here. The warp gate continuing to come through again. Oracle and warp gate all building. The Nexus and the probes coming about also. Oracle heads around the top side. The rest of the links coming through. Single link going through the center. Drones, queens, or Spore Crawler coming about also. Step gonna get there. Single link goes down. We're just going to activate the Overlord and take a few more shots of damage. Overlord will fall. The Queen's going to get there. It's going to jump onto the Void, and that Void Ray is going to die. So Void Ray actually going to get picked off. Used to hear a little different with that Void Ray, but doesn't really last that long, so not great. I mean, the Void Ray generally good at just denying the nearby Overlords, and at least then the Zerg doesn't really see what's coming next. Now Hero starts up the Twilight Council and the Forge. Melee upgrade building from Shin as well to get that melee upgrade coming through as 3 drones go down currently. Oracles move about a little bit, trying to see what's going on. The other Oracle down on that bottom right-hand side. Been playing some dangerous games with the Oracle, man. We obviously have not been great at keeping the Oracles alive as hero, but that Oracle goes super low, just about scarping out of there in time before it becomes a problem. Still coming across again, +1 on Blink coming through, the Stalker building, Cannon, the Gateway coming online. Nice catch on the first Stalker. This is going to be a melee upgrade build, so very Ling heavy. The Oracle's going to be more important than ever here, or they would be if there was many of them, right? Because if you're going to go aggressive with the Stalkers and there's a bunch of melee upgraded Lings out, the Oracle's defending against those Lings is going to be a big part of the reason why the Stalkers can kind of stand out against those Lings and do well. But obviously that's going to be a big part of the question here is, you know, is that going to be a factor? Is that going to be a thing? Things join up, coming up around the top side. Again, melee upgrade finishing soon. Bane Nest, Evo Chamber, a few drones and additional Lings all coming out as well. Infestation Pit is building up as we go. The rest of the Lings coming out that left-hand side. Going to get a grab on that Stalker, at least try to. Oracle's activating. A few Lings still getting chased away here currently. Multiple Lings keeping on dropping, so damage being done across the board on that one. Let's get moving about. Just going to see the Queens firing up. That's nearly an Oracle going down. I'm sure that took a hit. Well, the Lings are going to go across the map. These Stalkers are out on the 4th base that's building. I love the other group of Lings, by the way, trying to just say, hey, if you blink over here, I'm going to be surrounding you immediately again. As Shin jumps on this entire army, and Hero, he's going to lose a couple of Stalkers. He's going to lose some Zealots. I mean, the Oracle shows back up, activating its Pulsar Beam, trying to get some kills. Shin turns onto the base. He's going to get a kill on that rather than continue to go for Stalkers. I actually thought he could have continued fighting the Stalkers there. That felt very good for him. With 72 drones, he's still building a lot of Lings now on his way to +2, +1 melee and carapace upgrades. Single thing, just going to check in over here. Feeling set up on the right side as well. Storm on the way from Hero. Obviously would be a great upgrade to have against a Ling Bane-based army. As we do start to go after the cannon, just some of the stack defense in this position in general just keeps this base open to attack in the future. Now we have the Ling's side. The Bane's top right going to be intercepted, but some Lings are going to show up to try and hit those Stalkers. Ling's trying to run on the natural. Hero's wall for once is actually good. Hero able to do well enough there. As the Lings get turned around again, another few Lings coming up. Going to get around the back of those Stalkers and jumping onto those. Storm still coming through, +2 attack is coming in. The Queen's going to be there. Oracle and the Phoenix getting turned around. Banes continue up. Ling Bane in production. Ultralisk having building from Shin. Because of the Banes, going to finish. We're going to start rolling forward here. And so you are going to see some Ling Bane going a couple different directions. First Storm is beautiful. Second Storm, third Storm. Some of the Lings get by. We had to use a lot of the Lings kind of against the Storms there. I mean, we're basically killing stack defense and not much else. I don't know if this is really working for Shin. The idea was good. I think in the end, the execution, unfortunately, is not good enough. I mean, the Storms are great from Hero. I think the Banes on the right side could have actually gone for some probes a little bit sooner as well, and if they'd done that, they probably would have seen success. Nora000, thank you so much. 32-month resub on the Prime is amazing. Thank you so much for Prime subbing us up. Hero has such a good idea of this. He's just like, more cannons, more stack defense, more ways in which I can just defend without having to use units. And that just simplifies this whole process. Shin's trying to be everywhere and attacking different places and catching Hero out of position. You can't get caught out of position if your stack defense is just in every base, right? We do have Ultras going to start coming through from Shin, as again, just another round of Banes. Go for a couple of cannons. Not even killing any probes there. Not ideal. Stasis Ward is going to come up. Get set in. Lings are going to step forwards. Another Storm or two coming down. I mean, Storm's just so good. These High Templars must be racking up some kills. 19 kills on this guy in the back. Hey, this is an opening though, so finally, Shin's going to find something where he can actually run in without taking a bunch of damage in the process. Probe's going to have to pull away, and we will finally get some proper damage dealt. Going to pull the Stalkers and the High Templars over here. Maybe opens the door for Ling Bane on the right side, Ling Bane on the left. God, this is kind of what we've been somewhat playing towards. We do get back to the left side. More Lings setting up over there. The Lings in the main still trying to go. Somehow, we've still only killed 2 probes during this. We're going to try and wrap around, but guess what? It's Storm season yet again. Now Ling Bane on the right side. Oh, look, Storms! Well, we actually blow up the Nexus, so at least we get something out of this from Shin. Storm's just so good, though. Why no Adrenal Glands? Yeah, I can only imagine that's a mistake. I mean, Adrenal Glands when you're playing Ling Heavy would just make sense. Lings get over to the corner. Just going to be seeing that drop lords coming through. Charge +3, +1, all continue to come up. More shots coming about, damage being done over on the sides. Stalker's going to get there. Let's hold back. Going to have ourselves the Banes on the right, going to get caught as well. They go down. Stalker Archon in the center, going to push the Lings back as well. Rocks will fall. We continue to head down to the bottom right. This is going to get a lift. Queen's going to get grabbed pretty easily, so both those Queens will drop pretty quickly here. 3 Queens go down. A couple of Overlords taking damage. I mean, Hero's army is just at this point where it's just formidable. Always sad, right? I mean, he was going to win this. He's not going to advance from the group, and that's really sad because I feel like Hero played a good series. He was doing well in that game 1. He was just not ready for the sudden counterattacks of his opponent. He's done a great job defending this game. He understood what Shin was trying to do and set up perfectly to just shut it down and stop it from being a factor. Stalker Archon continues to move up. Overlord's being chased around. Ultra Bane coming over. This hatchery in trouble. I mean, the Lings in the main base of Hero are causing issues, but Shin just does not have enough to really stand up in this. That's going to be GG's, and this is going to be Hero taking a 2-1 victory. Unfortunately, because he got 2-0'd by Oliveira and did not take a map there, he will not advance out of this group. And that's what it comes down to. And that was a crazy series against Oliveira as well. Some crazy games there. It was a crazy group all around. Oops, I actually clicked the out of game button there straight away. Crazy group all around. Unfortunately, it does mean that the scores are going to go in favor of Shin and Oliveira. It's a three-way tiebreaker. Map score comes into play, and Hero has the worst map score of the three. So Shin advances in first place because of the head-to-head. Oliveira advances in second. And that is going to do it for the day here, guys. In the world of StarCraft 2, like I say, on Twitch, we're going to be moving on over to our bounty. We're going to be playing Starship Troopers Extermination. We'll be talking about that in just a moment or two. I will get that underway, but this is the end of the StarCraft. If you want to stick around and support the sponsorship, that's amazing. Would be greatly appreciated on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, that is going to be it for the day. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you all dropping in and hanging out on the YouTube channel. There'll be a proper YouTube upload later today as well if you want to check that out for more action. So do check that out as well. I'm going to turn the YouTube stream off right here and now. So thank you so much, YouTube. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.